pointed out, a literal teenager at the time who was trying to make it in the industry. And you've got this guy in Diddy who had been around for decades already and was incredibly well established and very powerful in the industry. So there was a massive power dynamic between the two. And she tells the story of them celebrating her birthday and Diddy kissing her for the first time in a bathroom, and how she liked him and she was into him and she wanted to make him happy. And that goes into a lot of the things then that she ultimately said that she did for him, despite the fact that she had said he had been violent with her, that he had not just during, some sexual acts or in the bedroom, but had also just been violent with her because of jealousy and for other reasons. But she remained committed to him because she was in love with this person. And she also feared that he could ruin her career if she were to have broken up with him. And that was a real fear for her, she says. So it was violent the way she paints it from the very beginning, or near the very beginning, and it's remained violent through their relationship and through them breaking up in the mid 2010s. And to hear of the last act of their relationship, Andy, when she says that she broke up with Diddy at a restaurant and they were having this closure, conversation where they were going to say goodbye to each other, and he ends up taking her back to her place, and she claims that he sexually assaults her there. So I mean, almost from beginning to end, she said this relationship was rife with violence, with sexual violence. And again, it just really seems like a nightmare.
Yeah, that is a very good point. And one thing that you mentioned there about ending their career, of course, Cassie felt threatened that Diddy could end her career if she did come forward. She was asked on the stand a little bit of a reversal, the fact that her civil settlement, this trial, this case could end Diddy's career. Do you think that had any weight with the jury?
It's so hard to say. I don't think so. I think, if there's anything that has been perceived as a whole thus far in the prosecution's case, and we probably have 7, 8, 9 weeks left, so it's probably not even
7 weeks. Wow.
Point. But nonetheless, this is the conversation that you're hearing outside the courtroom. I think some people have said this is not an assault trial, and while the prosecution has certainly showed that Diddy was violent and domestic violence was rife in the relationship, have they shown that there were federal crimes committed when it comes to sex trafficking? And a lot of people have said that part has been lacking so far. So I don't necessarily think, Andy, that the settlement or the civil lawsuit that Cassie brought last year, I don't know that has a massive impact. I do think that there could be a situation where the jury says,
I'm gonna do this for...
Look, not a good guy, not a good boyfriend, but not guilty of the charges that they've brought against him. That I could see. Again, the prosecution has likely 2 months here to fill in these gaps and to make their case. I think thus far, I'm not sure that they've exactly shown that he is guilty of sex trafficking and racketeering, which again is what he's charged with.
Yeah, we are a long way to go in this trial. Hopefully Cassie is off the stand in terms of that tomorrow. Anything else that you're keeping an eye on? Anything else? Any questions that you have left?
No, I think one of the other important sort of shocking things to come out of today was Cassie saying that in 2010 that Diddy actually overdosed on opiates. She said they were hanging out in the LA area. They have a freak off first in one of their hotel rooms, that they then go to some sort of sex club, and that Diddy then ultimately goes to the Playboy Mansion by himself. Cassie says that later on, Diddy became so sick that she had to take him to the hospital, and ultimately it's because he had actually OD'd on opiates. So these are things that we had obviously never heard of before, and sort of all just learning these things, and it's sort of coming out like a fire hose, Andy.
Yeah, that is very true. Obviously, the different freak-offs that we're learning about that's graphic in nature, but also the drug aspect to this case is going to get a lot of headlines as well. All right, Michael Babcock, I appreciate your time here on Live Now from Fox. Great insight as well, and we'll talk to you maybe again tomorrow.
Anytime. Thanks for having me, Andy.
All right, take care. All right.
We are continuing to give you these updates as fast as we get them. We want to bring them out to you. But right now, we are seeing the cross-examination really start today, talking about the drug use and alcohol use of Diddy. And the defense wants to frame this as, look, to the jurors. They want to say, look, we know our client is not the best guy. We know that he has several issues. Domestic violence is one of them, but also drug use is very paramount in his life. They want to establish this because any of the other really allegations that come out against Sean Combs, the defense can always say that he was under the influence at this time. So they are trying to plant that right now in the jury's mind, also by describing the amount of rehab that he went to. That is going to be brought up a little bit later here in this trial, where we will get a little bit more info on Sean Combs going to rehab, how he overdosed and almost died in one of his freak off marathon sessions that happened there. So this is going to be key as we move forward here in this trial, as the defense really, again, like I said, trying to establish that moment of Sean Combs having a deep alcohol and drug use problem. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that. If you're just joining us, cross-examination really starting with the incident in 2016. Cassie did say on the stand that Sean Combs was visibly intoxicated and on drugs during that time when he did assault Cassie, that was caught on the camera. Then days after, we were shown some text message exchanges that Diddy seemed remorseful, wanting to have sex with Ventura in the coming days. She was recuperating, she said, and it felt a little strange given that he just beat her down. But they both, at the end of that conversation, did exchange love yous once again. And this is key as defense trying to show that Cassie was not totally scared of the incident, was still engaging and having conversations with him during this time. So again, just a little bit more details coming from the cross examination that we're able to pass along to you.
Okay, guys, they said that. Let us because there's not much update.
Let's wait for some more updates.
There
as
is.
we get them. They're continuing to talk about the incident in 2016 and really the timeline after, just days after, talking of the relationship of Sean Combs and Cassie.
So,
now, the defense.
So guys, they are just talking about, at this point, they're talking about how the relationship between the both of them is the relationship between both of them was toxic. It has a lot of drugs. Yesterday she ended by saying in 2010 he OD'd and she had to take him to the hospital and yada yada yada, and what happened at some hotel that they were at. And so they're just getting into little details and to show that this is not a sex trafficking case, to show that this is not racketeering and conspiracy, to show that this is not transportation for prostitution. So the defendant is trying to plead their case to make sure that it is clear. So they are trying to establish that, listen, this is just a domestic violence situation. That is why it seems slow. The information, because they have to go through hundreds and hundreds of email, and she have to ask about, just text messages about whatever was said, who said what, whatever happened, when some of the her, I think one of the thing is a video was leaked, and then Diddy said that he was going to protect her to the hurt. He said he's going to protect her. So that came out. So that what they're trying to do is show that he was using the video as a, he's not using the video to hold over her head, right? So they are showing that no, we're not using the video to hold over her head. Because one of the video got leaked and he was there making sure that nobody gets the video. So they're saying that he was also protecting her. So they don't know why she would say that he's using the video over her head, and that is why she did all what she did. So that's where we're at, right? That is where it's at. And they're reading some of the comments that people are saying here. She was telling Sean she's gonna cut him up. She baited him and cursed him all the time. They are both toxic. Yeah. So there was a point where she was gonna tell him that if the video get leaked, what she was gonna do. She was gonna cut him. So they are proving that she was also violent. Because they are saying that he is violent. So they are proving that not only that he was violent, she was violent. So they want to debunk whatever she said to make sure that they understand that, okay, it wasn't normal, but the both of them are toxic, right? So that's what that is. Let me take hear what people have to say here. I'm gonna say Saga or Suga. It's not connecting.
Where you take me out for? Look on me.
Hello?
What kind of violent?
Hello? Okay, this is I don't know, guys. If you have, guys, nobody knows you. We just want to hear from you guys. We want to hear and make sure that if you have something to say, don't be shy. We're all just sharing. Sometimes you have situation. This lady came on yesterday and she shared that she kind of understand the situation, the dynamic between you know. Yeah. So it is. Because I know some of you don't understand, or some of you don't. Okay, seeing that we don't have the information coming in as fast as it was yesterday, it was faster because they're just going through emails after emails, and they send them some emails 3 in the morning. So obviously, to me, the defendant was not, I would say, not fully prepared, or maybe they do that deliberate because they didn't want to tip off the other side of what is going to be there. So they didn't want to make them prepare. So on Cassie's side, right, did it claim, she claimed, right? So we're going to look at what we have so far. She claimed that Diddy forced her into group sex act with stranger. That is what basically, she didn't say it in so many words, but that's basically what she's saying, him force her into group sex act. She didn't have any choice in the matter. Well, she didn't say it like that, but that is what they are trying to say here, that he forced her into group sex act, because basically that's what the government is going for. But she never admit to that. In so many words, she did not. She did not say he forced. She never used the word force. She said she did it because, right? But that's basically what they're trying to prove here. She said she felt trapped and degraded. Right? That's what she said had happened. She said she felt trapped and degraded. That means she didn't like what was happening. She felt trapped and let me move over this. She felt trapped and degraded. The next thing is I'm gonna bring this here so that at least you can see me. So she said she felt trapped and degraded. Physical abuse. Him abused her multiple times. We saw it on the video. How abusive he was. Right? Him abused her the whole entire time. The entire time. He abused her, make her feel less than a woman. Right? How dare him? Right? A lot of we don't know. I don't condone abuse. Right? She was also abusive. Right? She was also abusive. Emotional and physical, psychological control. That's what she's saying here. She's saying that he controlled her because he has a lot of money, right? He has a lot of money. He's rich. Him using power, and he control her psychologically. One need to ask the question: controlling somebody psychologically, is that a crime? Is that a crime? That's what we want to know. Them have a lot of drug abuse and addiction issues. He was overdosed on 2010, right? They use drugs, both of them. They use it before sex and after sex. She said that she was high. The reason why she did it, she was high and intoxicated prior to having all this. And she said him sourced the drugs for her. Remember that they tried to say that, okay, we source the drugs, but you try to buy the drugs from one of the guy, and Diddy tell them not to sell her it. She said she had trauma and fear. Right? She will fear. She obviously, when somebody speak of fear, is obviously she fear of the outcome. What is going to happen to her after all of this? That she said she spoke of some emotional trauma. What she said here is that she felt like she wanted to commit suicide. She was suicidal, right? At some point, she was suicidal, and her husband got her through it. She said she stayed silent for many years because she felt threat and intimidation. So obviously she felt intimidated. That is why she didn't say anything. She didn't say it in that word. She didn't say it in that word, but she just said that she felt threatened. She feared that the video would get out. So sometimes, even though we put words to thing, sometimes the person have to actually speak and use those words, but she did not. I listened to her testimony. Well, what came out of the testimony, it is not like she says I was fear for my life. She never did say that, but that's what we can gather. She's alluding to that. Let's put it that way. And remember, guys, these are all assumption, or these are all accusation. Nothing is proven, because you have to be proven in the court of law, and right now the trial is going on, so he's not guilty at this point, right? He's not guilty. We have to try to understand that he is not guilty. Now, on Diddy's side, Diddy is saying the relationship was consensual. He defended and presented text in the courtroom saying that, okay, she's saying that it wasn't consensual, but here are the texts to prove that it was consensual. She was willing participant in the sexual lifestyle. That's what his defense is. You were willing to participate in the sexual lifestyle. And then he was saying also that you are willing participant in the group sex life. So whatever we do, you were there and you love it, basically. And improve it that she have conversation saying, I want to have a freak off. So in presenting evidence to debunk her scenario that the government is presenting, that it was against her will. He's saying there is no evidence of force or threat because obviously them have force there. She's saying she felt threatened and she felt forced into it, right? And she felt emotionally forced into it. That's what she's trying to come towards, basically. So now, and he's saying, no, you weren't forced into nothing. You weren't forced into nothing because you were there and you're a willing participant. You participated in it. So now that is why they're going through all this text to make it clear, that to make us understand that she wasn't threatened. And that is why they came out and they said that when one of the video almost leaked, she was like panicking and he's saying, baby, don't panic. And then he says what he's gonna do and he's trying to make sure that everything contained, right? So she said she stayed into it because of that. Diddy saying, well, you stayed into it. Question why Cassie stayed in the relationship for nearly a decade. Pointed out the time that she expressed love and appreciation. He's saying that she stayed into the relationship. Cassie's saying she stayed into the relationship because she loved him and she wanted him to love her, right? That's what she said. She wanted him to love her, right? And he's saying she stayed into the relationship. She told him that she loved and appreciated him. No, they did. One thing that he cannot debunk, and they try to debunk it, is the fact that the civilians, like in the video that we all have a picture of, and we saw him beating her ass. She said that he tried to elude that he was sick and it was out of character. They tried to do something like, oh, that was out of character. To say in that particular video, it's not his normal behavior. It was out of character because he was on drugs. He was on drugs and alcohol. So it altered who he is. Motherfucker. That is what me never like. They tried to, but I don't think the juror is gonna believe any of that. You freaking beat her ass. Right? Because he's tried to say, oh, I was drugged up. I wasn't myself. I was this, I was that. And that is why I was behaving in such a way. Yeah? So that is that. So is it enough? Is it enough to say that this is sex trafficking, racketeering, transportation for prostitution? Is that enough to say that? Remember, he's saying he's not guilty. He says, I am not guilty of none of this. Yeah, that's what he's saying. I am not guilty of any of it. So now he's not guilty. So we will see. I mean, he says he's not guilty. So let us look at what sex trafficking is. Like, I'm gonna try to actually understand what sex trafficking is. I don't know if somebody wanna come on here and explain to me properly what sex trafficking is. It involves commercial sex act. That means you have to carry in people, right? Victim is coerced, right? That is what this is. She is saying she is being coerced into the group sex. And because he held her over her will, he had all these videos and he held it over her head, right? So they are saying that I'm wondering how the trafficking comes in, because if you're trafficking, you are knowingly benefiting financially. Was he benefiting financially from it? That is what I don't understand. I don't think they can get him on that charge, right? Was he commercial? Was it involved commercial sex act? Yes, he took people from state or over state line. Yes, he did. The victim, she was coerced. Yes, she said that's what she said. Right now, the trafficking part is he benefiting financially from it? That's my understanding. Now, racketeering conspiracy. It says agreeing to participate in an ongoing criminal enterprise that commit a pattern of illegal acts such as sex trafficking, drug distribution, money laundering, or violent. Now, where does all of this? I can't, unless they have other people that is going to come and says that these things happen. It says an agreement between two or more people to commit a pattern of racketeering activity. Now, the prosecution, remember that they're alleged is that they are saying that Diddy maintain a network of enablers. That is what that is. He maintained a network of enablers, right? And associates and people who help him, so him staff who help him to facilitate trafficking, drugs, and cover up. That is what they want to get him in. Right? That is what that is. So that is why he's on trial for all of that. So who is the maintain it? Like him staff maintain it. They stack. When they say that they stack they stack the hotel with towel, and they stack the hotel with towel and baby oil. That is where that come in. So the prosecutor want to say that he maintain and enable and associate people who help him, right, with trafficking, abuse, and cover up. So they cover up his deed. Anytime him do anything wrong, them have people for cover up for him, right? That's it. That's what they're trying to do. Are they doing a good job of that? That's the next question. Are they doing a good job of proving that? Right? Are they doing a good job of covering up? The next thing is the transportation for prostitution, knowingly transportation and individual across state or international line. So he did bring in the hooker, in bringing the escort, in bringing all of them involved interstate or foreign travel. It says the purpose must be to promote in or promote prostitution. I don't think he tried to promote it, right? So that is where we are at. That is the best I can go through this with. This is the only way I can see it. Like, I can't really think about it other than that. Are they doing a good job of doing that? I think they're doing a good job to show that he had people who are enablers. Yes, he had enablers like his staff. When something happened, they cover up. Like, for example, the guy, when Diddy was in the hallway, I think his security guard was there. Right? I'm not judging anybody. I'm telling you what they're charging him with at this point. They are charging him with all those things. Right? But so far we are seeing domestic violence here. That's what we are seeing now. So far we are seeing domestic violence. So far we are not seeing right? So far we are seeing, remember, Diddy is a powerful man. He was on the Forbes magazine. of a billionaire. He entered it. Oh, he's a billionaire. I'm living in a 20,000 square foot house, right? And he goes from a 20,000 square foot house into a 5 by 5. And he hear ching ching behind him. Cling cling when time those bolts bolt. Right? The man he has his whole life. What he tends to lose, what is going to happen when he lost all of this? His family. They're going to, if they convict him with all these charges, he's going to, they want to take away his everything. He's not going to have any money. He's going to go to jail, but they're going to confiscate everything he has. And all of what he has is going to be seized. And if your things seize, your kids, your parents, your family who depend on you, your livelihood is going to be gone. So I'm wondering, all these men out there, don't you think about that? You have seen it. It's not true? Yes, that is what they intend to do. They're going to try to see if he benefit, if he build his empire on all of this. Why you think them doing it? Oh, just to put him there? They want his money. The government want to bring him down. Sometimes when some of you have too much money, sometimes when you have too much money, that's what they want to do. Because them say him have a criminal entity. We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Right? Let us go back and see what they're saying at this point, if them have any updates. Because me know say they don't have any, sometimes they not hear anything. I don't know why.
Settlement or the civil lawsuit that Cassie brought last year. I don't know that that has a massive impact. I do think that there could be a situation where the jury says, look, not a good guy, not a good boyfriend, but not guilty of the charges that they brought against him. That I could see. Again, the prosecution has likely 2 months here to fill in these gaps and to make their case. I think thus far, I'm not sure that they've exactly shown that he is guilty of sex trafficking and racketeering, which again is what he's charged with.
Yeah, we are a long way to go in this trial. Hopefully, Cassie is off the stand in terms of that tomorrow. Anything else that you're keeping an eye on? Anything else? Any questions that you have left?
No, I think one of the other important or sort of shocking things to come out of today was Cassie saying that in 2010 that Diddy actually overdosed on opiates. She said they were hanging out in the LA area. They they have a freak off first in one of their hotel rooms. That they then go to some sort of sex club, and that Diddy then ultimately goes to the Playboy Mansion by himself. Cassie says that later on, Diddy became so sick that she had to take him to the hospital, and ultimately it's because he had actually OD'd on opiates. So these are things that we had obviously never heard of before, and sort of all just learning these things, and it's sort of coming out like a fire hose, Andy.
Yeah, that is very true. Obviously, the different freak-offs that we're learning about this graphic in nature, but also the drug aspect to this case is going to get a lot of headlines as well. All right, Michael Babcock, I appreciate your time here on Live Now from Fox. Great insight as well. I'm sure we'll talk to you maybe
anytime. Thanks for having me, Andy.
All right, take care. All right, everyone.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox again, bringing you these updates all in real time. I'm your host, Mike. Folks, back out live right now. We are still waiting for the jury to come back in, but I did want to continue to update you here on Live Now from Fox. Always great to have you here, bringing you these updates in real time right now. And again, we're waiting for the jury to come back. So here's the thing about this court process and things you have to really come to grips with. When the judge usually says, okay, lunch is going to come back, we're going to come back after lunch by 1:15. Well, it's way past that right now, and we're still waiting. So it always tends to go a little bit longer. That's okay. We're waiting right now, just along with you on Live Now from.
So they're waiting, guys. They're on lunch break.
See, and again, we're waiting for these major updates to come. But just let me Let me just give you some of the latest rundowns, just in case maybe you're just joining us here. Some wild
So
stuff happened right before they went to break. So let me just refresh, make sure we're not missing. Yeah, they're still on break. Okay, so we're not missing anything right now.
So Cassie said that she didn't see Diddy since the memorial. Haven't seen Diddy since the memorial. Cassie memorial.
All right. So earlier today, there was more text messages and emails that were shown, and it was said, "I just don't trust anymore. That last shot put the nail in the coffin." Cassie texted Combs, referring to the photo of Combs with a woman identified in court as Gina. "I promised myself I wouldn't be with you anymore if you did that to me again," Cassie wrote, telling Combs, "You lied to me," and she never went away. Soon after, Cassie said she started dating her now husband, Alex Fine. Defense attorney also asked if Cassie Ventura hated Sean Diddy Combs now. "I don't hate him," Ventura testified.
Kim Porter memorial.
"You still have love for him?" the defense asked. "I have love for the past and what it was," Ventura said. During cross-examination, texts between Cassie Ventura and Combs were read aloud. She admitted expressing love but frustration, saying she didn't want to be one of those many girlfriends. Combs replied, "Can I hold you, or are you just going to break up with me?" During cross, Ventura confirmed that she had sex with Combs the night she texted, we can embrace, LOL. Her now husband FaceTimed during it. When asked if she told her husband she was raped, she replied, "Not that evening." Cassie Ventura, 8 months pregnant, now appears tired and dazed in court after a long morning of questions about rehab, rape, her past with Combs, and dozens of texts spanning 15 years. She frequently fidgets in her seat, clearly feeling the strain. In a message from early October 2018, Combs told Cassie Ventura he was going to fall back and to call him when she needed him. Ventura responded that she wasn't sure how to handle things and said in part, "I'm lost without you." That's when the jury went on break, but I want to see if there's any more updates to bring to you. Much of the defense's cross-examination of Cassie Ventura the past 2 days has used text messages to try to suggest that she was more sexually mature and enthusiastic than she expressed in her testimony, and to cast doubt on her recollections of her ex, Sean Combs. But the big moment of the morning was actually an audio recording in which Ventura threatened to kill a DJ who said he had a lurid video of her having sex with Combs. On the stand, Ventura appeared taken back by the recording, but also amused. She has occasionally smiled at the defense when answering their questions.
She like it. She love it. She even smile at it. She love him. She love it.
These updates, as fast as we get them, we want to bring them out to you. But right now, we are seeing the cross-examination really start today, talking about the drug use and alcohol use of Diddy. And the defense wants to frame this as, look, to the jurors. They want to say, look, we know our client is not the best guy. We know that he has several issues. Domestic violence is one of them, but also drug use is very paramount in his life. They want to establish this because any of the other really allegations that
Somebody said they want to write a freak off to Trump and see if Trump would be involved in that.
He was under the influence at this time. So they are trying to plant that right now in the jury's mind. Also by describing the amount of rehab that he went to. That is going to be brought up a little bit later here in this trial, where we will get a little bit more info on Sean Combs going to rehab, how he overdosed and almost died in one of his freak-off marathon sessions that happened there. So this is going to be key as we move forward here in this trial, as the defense really, again, like I said, trying to establish that moment of Sean Combs having a deep alcohol and drug use problem. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that. If you're just joining us, cross-examination really starting with the
Okay, guys, there's not no much. There's not no much because they're on break now. But hear what? The whole thing is trying to debunk all of what they said, right? She hasn't seen him since Kim Porter Memorial. So after Kim Porter was buried, and yeah, she hasn't seen him. He reached out when she was start talking to her husband. Now husband, did say to her if she need anything, she can reach out to him. Right? So he wanted to keep the relationship cordial. And then he did say to her, are you just gonna you're gonna leave? She said, I don't know what am I gonna do without you, but I gotta leave, because she didn't want to be one of his girl. So obviously, eventually, guys, she put her foot down. Is either he marry her or she leave. So therefore, she's maturing. And she was willing to stay in that messed up relationship and have the freak up, but she wanted more. So I'm thinking, I would run as fast as I can. I wouldn't ask a man like that for more than that. Why would I want to marry a man like that? Why would I want to have a family with a man like that who dehumanize me? And you guys here are going to sit here and going to talk about how she was trapped. The reason why she got out of the damn relationship is because she wasn't getting the ultimate. She wasn't being called wife. That is it. Now you know. Why would I stay with him? Why would I even want something more than that? Because she said, I don't know what am I going to do without you. Motherfucker. Girl, you were willing to go do some continue with the freak off. So guys, something never right up in here, so. Something never right up in here, so. I want to confirm, maybe when she was with that guy, Alex, she was still screwing Diddy. And then finally she decided not to. Because Alex took her, they said that she went to therapy. But she never did do sex therapy. They ask her deliberately, have you gone to sex therapy? Like, you know how you have some people addicted to sex? Them ask her if she go to sex therapy. They said no. I'm not judging her. We're just talking about the fact that I'm not here judging her. We're talking, she's in court. She's accusing this man of the judge, not she, hear me? They're accusing Diddy of all these charges: sex trafficking, racketeering, and transportation for prostitution. So you want to tell me that I must sit here and I don't have an opinion? Who am I to judge? I'm not judging her. I am not judging. You see how ignorant? I am not even judging her. I am saying that this is wild. She's saying that she was coerced. She's saying that she was in fear. She's saying that he hold the video over her. So why shouldn't we talk about it? Why shouldn't we talk about it if she's saying all of that? She's saying that all of this, the freak off was coercive and traumatic. And they are proving on the other side, the defendants are proving no, it wasn't coercive. It was you wanted it. She's saying it was traumatic for her. And they're saying no. You were asking for it. And now they're proving that she was willing to stay into the relationship had him keep her alone. She don't want to be the second. She wants to be number one. She didn't want to share him, even though she was technically sharing him. That's what she said. She did. They asked her in court, so she answered to it. Yeah, she was psychological. We all know that, but you still have to take accountability for whatever you do. You don't get off. You don't get off because you were psychologically, emotionally, and physically abused, and you make certain choices. You don't get off because of that. You don't get off because of that. Right? I want to hear from you guys. And none of you want to talk. I want to hear from you. There is a guest button. Somebody click the guest button. Yes, I don't doubt it. She was psychological. Something was wrong with her, but she was broken. For a woman to go into a relationship like that, she 19 when she met him. Because some of you don't have the story. She's 19 when she met him. When she 21, him kiss her in the bathroom, she said. And that's where the relationship kick off. She was seeing the guy. I don't remember the guy's name now. Somebody put it there. I talked about him yesterday. She was seeing that guy for 3 years. Right? And then she leveled up because he was a producer and a promoter. And then she leveled up to Diddy. Right? And they're proving in court that she was sexually mature. Right? Because she's saying that she was a saint. Basically, that's what she's alluding to, that she didn't have any much experience with. I don't think she did. To me, she's 19. When she met him, she was wet behind the ears. She didn't know anything, but she started when she was 21 with him. That's when she know that the relationship is more than just a friendship. Because I think he signed her on, and then afterwards he kissed her. He's abusive. We all know that. Nobody is. We already understand that he is abusive. We already understand that this man is a monster. His behavior, alleged, because he's still innocent at this point until proven guilty. Because we know, actually we saw the video of him committing these acts against a female. We saw what he did. We saw him. He was stomping on her. He was abusing her. Right? He's bigger than life. Yeah, and because when you're bigger than life, you get what you want when you want, how you want it. We all understand that. He gets what he want, when he want, how he wants it. Yes, he does have a pattern. Him do the same thing to is Kim Porter before she died. Cassie knew Kim Porter because she was at the memorial. She attended it. That's the last time she said she saw him. She knew before she and him go public with their relationship, he was with Kim Porter, and she knew it. So she just went in and scooped him up. He wasn't available. He had somebody. So you want to hear, some of you women want to sit here. I'm not judging her, right? I mean, a woman have to do what a woman have to do. Maybe her back is against the wall. Maybe she needed money. But they asked her in court, how was her finances? And she said it was okay. She was good. She was doing her modeling. So she said it wasn't about the money. But at the same time, was she gonna, anybody ever admit it was about the money? Honestly, any one of us, I don't know what it is. Some of us, we never want to admit it was about the money. And sometimes it was about the money. We don't want to admit the fact that it was about the money. Very rare people. Yep. I look at the watch. I look at the shoes. Right? Because some men you can't tell when them have money. Some of them you can't. But then there's little giveaway like the watch the man wear or his shoes he has on. You know him have money. And sometimes his belt that he choose. And we some of we were professional. We know. We look. We know. But she didn't need to look at anything like that. His name was all over social media. She knew he was who he said he was, right? He was this type of person. He was bigger than life. He was going to set her up. He was going to make her great. In the texts, she said that, yes, I miss you. Can we have a freak session? She did say that in the text, and she didn't deny it. I don't know why she said it. Maybe she said the reason why she said all that and is because she want to be closer to him. And that's the only way to be closer to him. Give him what he wants. She wanted, I believe, honestly, solely believe that she didn't want to do all the group sex. She didn't want that. There's no way a woman would want to do that. I believe she did it though. She wasn't coerced in doing it. She do it because she knows that's what he wants. And that was a stipulation in being in his present. You have to, that's what he wants. That's his lifestyle. That is his whole aura. That is him. That is what he's about. He's freaky. And because he's freaky, that is it. Yeah, she wants it. And then sometimes, just like maybe she said that she wasn't into him that way when she met him, but then after over time, she get used to him because he's older, right? For you to be dating somebody older than you like that, 17-year, you're a senior, it takes you a while to, especially it takes you a while to get used to it. Then she get used to it. So I figured when she was first introduced to the group freak off, then she get used to it. Then she probably like it. No, he's 17 years older than her. Get your story straight. I say she get used to, I don't know. Maybe she didn't like it. Maybe she did it because she want to be there. Who knows what our young mind was going through. Maybe she did it because she want to be rich. Maybe she did it because he was manipulative. Maybe she did it because he was, she says it's coercion, but it's not showing coercion in her text. She says, I want you what you call him? Pop up. I love you, pop up. Some shit like that. I don't remember what she called him exactly. But them have a name for each other. She texts him, I'm horny. Can we do it? Can we do a group? I'm horny as fuck, she said in the text. Yeah. This is her words. This is her text. She love it. You have some people that just love sex. Nothing wrong with that. Will me have daughters? So what you want me to do? Sit here? If my kids choose to go do whatever they do, then they can go do it. Because this is the reality. This is the reality of some women. We can't be fooled. Some of you out there, you do it for free. At least she didn't do it for free. She got $20 million. It is as simple as that. Some of you don't want to hear the truth. That is the truth. Right? She meet with the devil, and this is what she had to do, sell her soul for the devil. And she chose evil over good, and she dehumanized herself, or let him do that to her, and she accepted all these years, and she intended to accept it if he had married her and decided he's going to make a wife out of her, because eventually that's what she wanted, and she wanted to be exclusive, she said. I'm sorry, after a man do that to me, I would not ask him to be exclusive. I would not ask him to be exclusive. I would fucking run as far away from. I wouldn't even want his dick nowhere near me. That's what I want to know. I want to know what people think she's responsible for, because everybody is here saying, oh, she has Stockholm syndrome. Let us define. Let us define Stockholm syndrome. Victims start to identify emotionally with their abuser. Yeah, she was identifying with her abuser. Hold on, because some of you just want to know. Okay, victims start to identify with their abuser, may develop feeling or trust, affection, or dependence. She did that. She feel occur over time, especially in a situation involve intense stress, isolation, or power imbalance. Yes, she had a power imbalance, but he didn't isolate. I don't feel like she was isolated. The abuser may abuse her, like, let me explain this part. He may abuse her, like him abuse her, then he give her kindness, then abuse her, then he get, and then they form a deep bond. Yeah. Let us see where it came from. Remember where it came from, right? Some people say Stockholm syndrome, hostage survivor, where the term originated. The abuser survivor, depending on their abuser or remaining in the relationship for a year. High profile case, Patty. Is okay, let us try to define this and see if this is Stockholm syndrome. Okay, because I'm just here giving you this. Okay, listen to this now. Let us just talk about Cassie and what she said. We're not going to look at what Diddy said. We're going to look at what Cassie said. And let us see. But we are not. This is just hypothetical. This is what Cassie is saying, and the defendant is proving what she's saying is incorrect. Okay? That's what we get thus far. The man is proven innocent. He's innocent until proven guilty. So first of all, Cassie claimed that Diddy was physical, sexually, and emotionally abusive, right? And which comes on as Stockholm syndrome. Said she felt trapped, afraid to leave, and emotionally dependent on him, right? Well, I don't know if she did say she emotionally dependent on him. I never heard that part. Somebody tell me if she said, if any of her testimony, she said that she was emotionally dependent on him. I don't remember recalling she said that. But I did recall that she said she was afraid to leave because of the video. Despite the abuse, she stayed in the relationship for nearly a decade, right? We agree with that. She stayed into the abuse despite of what was happening. Continue to send in love, affectionate message. So all the years, what him do and beat her, him do all kind of things for her, but she still send him affectionate message, like she would say to him, I love you, pop up. A pop up she call him? Britain? Or what she call him? Pop up? Pop up. Yeah, I love your pop up. Some shit like that. Okay? No, she stayed in the relationship for years despite the abuse. We say that, right? So that obviously she had a bond for him. So it's a trauma bonding, right? We agree with that. So express affection for Diddy during and after the abuse. After him abuse her, couple days when she calmed down, she still says she love him. Right? Was he coerced or insane all those things to him? She described isolation and drugs. Well, she never described isolation. She never said he isolated her. She never did. There was no, I listened to the testimony or I read it. There was no way she said he isolated her. We only assume that was never out of her mouth. That was never out of her mouth. She never said that him isolated her. What she said that at times he would take away her passport. And her phone and go through her phone. He did say that. She did say that on the stage, on the witness stand. She said him take away her phone, and one day she was in the car or wherever she was with him, and she had her phone open because obviously her phone was her personal thing. And when the phone opened, him grabbed the phone out of her hand and took it, and then go through her phone and call one of the football player or the basket, I don't know, some sports guy. She call him and him call the person. They never talk who, right? So him tried to control who she, because he was jealous. He was a raging jealous person. Yes, she said she fear of losing her livelihood. She don't know where she's going to get money from because she depended on him. She didn't have anything really. But she have her health and strength. She could have walked away. She couldn't walk away because she wanted the life that she, all I can think about is she wanted the life that, thank you very much. All I can say is that she wanted to walk away with the life that she had. She wanted the money and everything, but she didn't want to walk away. You know you can walk away when you're in an abusive relationship. Did you know that you can walk away without a penny in your pocket and start all over again? But some of us, we are so stubborn that we're not doing it. I want some woman come on here and tell me when they're in an abusive relationship and the man and them a fight about the money. They choose the peace over all the money and all. Some of us not going to do it. But some of us do it. Did you know that? Some of us, like me choose money over everything. That me just can't see it without it. Now, some of us do. I know women just walk away out of a marriage. Some people just walk away from a marriage 25 years and don't have a penny to them name and them never look back and then build them life back again. Ray, thank you very much. Honestly, is that not true? Some people do it. So me, I'm questioning. You say you had money before you met him. She said because they asked her to try to figure out her financial well-being before she met him. And she said that she was okay. She said she had some money before she met him. She was okay. She wasn't financially in any burden or anything. But yet you people want me to sit here and when me say that and say, oh, she just label it one big topic, oh, Stockholm syndrome. So that negate her of any responsibility. That is what you people want me to sit here and say. That negate her of all responsibility. He was blackmailing her. How was he blackmailing her? You're saying she didn't have a choice because she was being blackmailed. So that means him a blackmail her to do the other free call session. So therefore she was trapped into doing the free call session. She was coerced in doing the free call session. And she never have a choice over that. I'm sorry for her endurance, but we have to look at it. It doesn't matter what. So I don't want to hear. If I hear that word Stockholm syndrome one more time, I'm going to just puke. I'm honestly going to puke. I mean, yes, I could see it, but we cannot. I don't mind hearing it like, okay, you know what? She was abused and so on and so forth. But when you guys want to just put a band-aid over it, Stockholm syndrome, that explains every shitting thing. So therefore, there's no communication, no talk. We don't have a conversation because that was Stockholm syndrome. That's what it is. That's it. Done, boom. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's what it is. That's it. She doesn't take any responsibility for her action. That's it. She was traumatized. She was abused. She had no responsibility. She never see the man for who he was. She don't have no brain. She has no brain. When him kiss her in the bathroom, when she 21-year-old, and she realized that, and the first session she get with him, and she realized it was unconventional bedroom behavior, she didn't have any problem with it. She had some attachment. She developed attachment with him right away. All of a sudden, she meet this rich man. When him kiss her in the bathroom, within a 6 months period, because that's what she said, within a 6 months period, he was already doing freak off, and she just in at the freak off, then she still love him, and she love him. Me don't understand. No, excuse me. She would have left from the beginning. Yes, he did the freak off. Right, between 6 months period, because they make it clear. They were doing their bedroom behavior was horrible. It's not like say it was one-on-one. It wasn't a one-on-one. They were doing freaky shit before. And then she, in one of the texts, she said to him, I want more. I don't want to be hiding. People don't know that we are together. That's what she said. She says, I don't want where nobody know I exist. I want to be the woman in your life. I want to be there. I want to be at the front line. This is a woman who have attended free call session before, and she told him she's not going to do it. Listen, it shows that she put her foot down at one point and said, I'm not going to do anymore unless everybody know that I am this person. That's what it is saying. This is not my story. This is what is there. I'm talking about what was read in court. So you go and go look through the transcript. Okay. And then she said, okay, when that happened, within 6 months, you're saying within a 6 months period, she formulate a dirty lifestyle that she do in her bed, and that negate her because she has Stockholm syndrome at that point in time. That's what you're letting me to believe, that okay, within a 6 months period she had Stockholm syndrome, and she couldn't make the choice whether she like that lifestyle or she's gonna leave. At that point, she wasn't with the guy for no period of time, right? That's what you're letting me. You want me to believe that? Okay. At that point in time, you're not that deep in love. You're not that deep. Okay, I know. Maybe for me, and I can't speak for this, but I forgot that some of you probably meet somebody and all of a sudden, within the day 2, you're deep in love. But I can't. I can't just love somebody day 2, day 3, day 4, 1 week. No, I'm still fishing to see what's happening. The relationship is too early for me to be in a situation where I can't come out at that point. Why didn't she run? Now, let us not talk about the 10 years that she spent with the guy. Let us talk about the first 6 months of the relationship. Let us freaking focus on the first 6 months. If you have a relationship and you don't think she should take responsibility right there and then to know whether what is right and what is wrong, let us only focus on that 6 months. The first 6 months when she's 21-year-old, when it just started. Remember, she met him, he signed her up, right? And then when she's 21, that's when, because the relationship after she met him was very platonic. There wasn't any relationship, right? And then him kiss her, and then she said, oh my God, he loved me, right? And him show interest. That is when he must show real interest. And then between that 6 months, she was already doing freak off. Now you can't tell the difference. You cannot. Within that period of time, she was doing the freak off session. Within that period of time, she was Stockholm syndrome. I don't get it. Somebody explain it. She had the right to protect herself and take the feelings and the emotion out of the equation. You want to tell me, you were going to have me sit here and tell me, so within the first 6 months of the relationship when she was doing all those freak off, if she didn't know, she didn't have nobody to talk to and said to her, what the fuck? Why am I doing all of this? Why am I putting myself, why am I having group sex? Is this is normal? Tell me, speak to me. Somebody come here. This is what I'm going to leave the conversation, because you people, are driving me up the wall. Some of these women who just one-sided. And nobody here is saying that he's a saint. Nobody's saying that. Everybody is saying this is a monster. You walk right into him. You let him take over your life. Because it has to be some, say he didn't have any money and he didn't have nothing to offer you. Say it's just a normal old Joe off the road. Would she have it within the first 6 months? Would she have agreed the very first 6 months if he was Joe off the road? Would she have allowed him to come and have freak off session for the first 6 months of the relationship? Exactly. All of the naysayers out there will want to believe, oh, whoa, oh, she too pretty. So you guys, because me know somehow because she's so beautiful, you cannot comprehend why such a beautiful woman would have do that. So here what you do, you just put Stockholm syndrome. She was under his spell, blah, 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 blah. We're not looking for the next 10 years. The abuse didn't start yet. He showed her in the beginning of the relationship, the first 6 months, what he wants. This is what I want. I just love group sex. I love this. I love that. I can give you everything that you want, but this is my sole desire. I love freak off. I can't get it. I can't get enough. And this is it. I just love it. And he loved carrying big black guys with big black dicks. And he loved watching it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Steve. And I just love it. Maybe he had a fetish, seriously. And he loves those black guys. Give it to anybody that he was dating. And he make it very, very, he makes it from the beginning. He makes it, that's what he wanted. And guess what? She did not see anything wrong with it. I'm confused about it. Tell me which part I'm confused. Tell me which part I'm confused about the trial. Come on and tell me when. We're not talking about the entire 10 years of our life. We're not. We are not. We're just focusing on the first 6 months that she was with this guy. We're not talking about the 10 years. We're talking about when she just met him and she know what he was about. You tell me. I know. I'm talking about Cassian. Well, it's about the Rico case, yes? Well, if it's the Rico case, I don't think any Rico shit, nothing. Because they haven't proven it so far. Unless they're going to have people who is going to come on and prove all of this. Anywho, this is what I want to talk about today. Exactly. If some guys off the street, if it was some guy off the street who is nobody, didn't name Diddy, could he have said, listen, we are going to have group SCX. The first 6 months, there's no freaking way. Someone would have think about it. But if the money is sweet enough, that is where the money comes in. I'm telling you, money will make you do anything. We never see the underground kids yet. We're going to see it. We're not talking about what didn't come out yet. Because those are only alleged. So when it come out, we're gonna talk about it. How doggy she is, and how sick he is, and how he's a pedophile and blah blah, and the whole thing. We're talking about what we heard so far, and what is happening so far. And even if that comes out, for a woman to stay in a relationship with a man for 10 years and know that's what is happening, shame on her. Shame on her. Shame on her. Shame on her. If after the underground grown kids come out and we are hearing all of this, and she go there in the first 6 months and she's comfortable with it, and then she told him after a period of time, she says, listen, I'm not doing, she did say this, it is in the court of law, she said, I'm not doing this unless, I'm not doing all of these freaky shit unless I'm the woman. I am out there. You have to put Kim Porter aside because she was the main woman at the time. It's me now. It's Cassie now. You're going to have to walk with me, a Hollywood, on your side. I am the boss now. I'm the queen. I'm the Effie now. That's what happened. Yeah. And if she knowingly go in there and then she start to find out about all these things, what he's doing with these young people, let us say that. And if she's saying all these things that she realized that was happening. Now, if I couldn't do it for myself, and I am so Stockholm syndrome, and then I'm seeing babies, underage kids getting improv, I would do it for the underage kids. So she is not, either way you tell me, I still have it that, oh, shame on her. I'm just, this is just because you said to me that he was doing all of that to other young girls and blah blah blah, the young kids. And if you are with a man close like that, you must know all of the dirty things that he's doing. When he was, hear what you're gonna say now, when he wasn't with her. If she can know when he have woman outside, you don't think she's suspicious of everything and she's gonna snoop? If I have a man and she can track him and she know him of woman and threaten other relationship that he has when him have other woman with her, you don't think she know him? No. Okay, let us not talk about things that was not proven in the court of law yet. Let us talk about what is already there. Anybody? You want to come? Why don't you, instead of your talk, why don't you come and have a conversation and tell us what you know and enlighten us? Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Let us take a break here and listen to what is saying in the court. Like, I want to know what is the update here. The last time I heard
Probably a lot.
They went.
They're going to take and assume ownership of his homes, sell those at market value, impound his cars, take all his jewelry, and everything else. So there is a lot on the line, not only for Sean Combs, but his family as well.
Same thing I was saying.
Sons and daughters have to be thinking, okay, if he goes in and is convicted, we aren't getting any of his money, where maybe they did think down the line they would after he died. So that's another key thing to definitely talk about here on Live Now from Fox as we continue to roll on, and I'm just waiting for more key updates to pass along to you. Again, we like to give these updates to you to the best of. Oh, okay, we're getting a lot more just coming in right now. Let's see here. Oh wow, a lot came in. All right, Ventura says Diddy often took her phone, passport, and other belongings when angry, usually over men she had dated or was suspected of talking to. Cassie Ventura testified, "If I was with anyone else, I wouldn't call it cheating. We weren't married." She said, "In a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, it's more of a technicality when you're not officially together." Cassie Ventura testified Combs took her phone back in 2013 over suspicions that she danced with Chris Brown. She said she didn't. In 2016, he took her phone again after learning she was dating someone else. She said they weren't really together then. In August of 2016, Cassie Ventura said Combs. Folks, I do want to chime in right now on Live Now from Fox. We are now being told the defense has ended their cross-examination by having Cassie read yet more text messages in an attempt to show jurors that she was a willing participant in Combs's freak-off lifestyle of drug-fueled sex marathons. The defense has her read another exchange. In the exchange in September of 2012, Combs told Cassie he wanted to FO one last time using the initials for freak-off. What, Cassie? Combs replied, "You can't read? I don't want to freak off for the last time. I want it to be for the first time for the rest of our lives," Cassie told him. The defense ended her questioning there, but prosecutor Emily Johnson, questioning Cassie in a phase of testimony known as redirect, had Cassie read more of the text messages to provide additional context. "I want to see you, but I'm emotional right now," Cassie told Combs. "I don't want to do one last time. I'd rather not do it at all." All right, so we are going to be continuing to get these updates here for you now that we know that the defense has just ended their
Cross-examining ended.
We'll wait for more updates and provide them to you here on Live.
Guys, you see what me say? She still want the relationship. She just want him alone for herself. Terrible. Me hear with the other website they must say.
How to beat the heat. If you're struggling to stay cool in hot, stuffy rooms without an air conditioner, this quick solution will take.
I saw Cassie grow up from a little girl that was willing to like give every
So
you know,
we're takeaways
lap
that we
dances
are reading
basically.
for you right now in court. The prosecutor is now asking Ventura about the messages the jury saw when she and Sean Diddy Combs expressed love for each other. Were there periods during which Sean was kind and loving? Johnson asked. Ventura testified there were. Did those periods ever last? Johnson asked. Ventura replied no. When Sean wasn't happy anymore, it affected everybody around him. The person said, did his moods affect you? Ventura said they affected my whole life. So again, redirect is happening right now. Day 5 of the Diddy trial continues. So we are with you here worldwide on Live Now from Fox, continuing to give you these updates to the best of our abilities. We thank everyone here in the chat for continuing to voice your opinions, letting us know what you're thinking about the trial up to this point.
Garbage.
Remember, it is so early on right now. We are just day 5, 1 week in, and how this will much go for about another 7 more weeks. Should also let you know that some legal experts have gauged and made an estimate of how much Sean Combs is spending on his legal defense, and it could be anywhere up to about $10 million for his legal defense here. That is for all the lawyers, the paralegals, the assistants, the investigators, as well as all the documentation and everything else that goes into a high-profile federal court case. So again, it looks like Diddy's spending about $10 million for the fight of his life as defense continues.
That's a lot of money. $10 million.
Well, what I should say, I was just going to defense continues to roll on, but that is not the case anymore since they have stopped in their questioning of Cassie. The cross-examination is over. Cassie is still reading more text messages now from the prosecution. We'll wait on more updates and pass that along to you, of course, when we get them. Oh, we are getting some more updates. Good. Ventura says, if Sean was in the mood for a freak off, my work would take the back seat. So that would mean my career not being paid attention to because I had to do other things. Ventura said that she clung to Diddy's words and trusted his lead, which made his put downs hit even harder. I was already hard on myself, but his words made it worse. There was some good, but a lot of negative too. She is testifying as well. So again, we're bringing you these updates. I'm glad I was able to get that little tidbit in there for you as well. Staying worldwide for you here on Live Now from Fox with all of the major updates.
Guys, this is too much. Yeah, this is way too much. Let's see who has it going on here. Diddy. Okay, let us listen to this while them give you update.
Why don't we choose more carefully who we're going to lionize? Not just us.
This is
but like
Kelly.
the Harvards
Megyn
and
Kelly
MITs
speaking.
of the world. Look how they lionized Epstein, not to mention the Bill Clintons. Why don't we choose more carefully who we're going to put up on these pedestals? Jeffrey Epstein was lionized even after he had pleaded guilty to this act of prostitution with a 14-year-old. But still, Katie Couric's going to his house for dinner. Why? Not to mention Prince Andrew. We're so obsessed with people who attain great wealth and have the trappings of it all around them. It's like some sort of magic elixir to other people, even if they're wealthy too. Like, you must know something. You must be someone. Instead of having like a healthy disdain for that and questioning, how'd you get it? Like, I'd like to know more.
Exactly.
If I sit next to Tom Brady at a dinner, I'm going to know exactly how he got his money, and I'm fine with that. But like an Epstein, And a P. Diddy or a Weinstein, about whom there's always been a rumor mill of bad behavior. I mean, it just makes you wonder, like, before you actually get in business with this person or in bed with this person, how much more would you need to know? How much due diligence should you be doing? And lionizing them, yeah, same rule. So Diddy, after the Cassie lawsuit, gets hit with a bunch of lawsuits, and then ultimately the raids, and then this criminal case. And the feds, Al Capone style, have not charged everything under the sun. They've charged 3 main charges: racketeering, sex trafficking, and the transport of a prostitute. And I'll tell you, I don't know about the racketeering charge. It's pretty sweeping, and I'll tell you what the general elements are, just so you can understand. It's a lot. And you can tell, you can ask yourself whether you think they've proved their case. It's going to be probably an uphill battle on the racketeering. That's the toughest one, but the other 2 are looking good.
Exactly.
Racketeering.
That's what I say too.
Okay. That he has with others, and just because no one else has been charged, which normally in a RICO case you would have others charged. It's really, it was a statute that designed to get mob bosses, trying to get at criminal behavior that's like a web of criminal behavior that you can't necessarily prove, like the one thing or the statute of limitations expired on the other thing, but you're just showing this bad guy who's operating what's clearly an enterprise that over and over engages in criminal problems or criminal acts. So they've used it against many non-mob bosses since it was created, and they've used it against people like Epstein, they were going to, for this kind of behavior. So what they're saying is that the defendant and others, known and unknown, being persons employed by and associated with his enterprise,
I told you.
engaged in,
Mm-hmm.
and in a way that affects interstate commerce.
Mm-hmm.
They conspired together and they engaged in an effort to violate the racketeering laws of the United States. And what they say is that we mean that they committed multiple acts involving, by the way, under the law, I think you just need 2, multiple acts involving kidnapping, arson, bribery,
Yes.
and more. The general list at the front of the complaint says arson, bribery, and obstruction of justice too. So among others. Now, the kidnapping and stand by. No, I'm just looking at my list here. Kidnapping, arson. That's probably going to be the Kid Cudi stuff. We'll see. That's she testified to this. Like, they got this.
The Kid
From
Cudi stuff.
Cassie,
Yeah, when he blew
when
up
she
the
took the stand.
arson.
That videotape, she testified, was her running out of a freak off.
Right.
She'd had enough. She was escaping.
Right.
And that he ran after her, dragged her back, and forced her to continue. Now, that's kidnapping. Right there. And it's assault. And just because the state prosecutor in California did not bring charges against Diddy, which he should have, but again, that tape was kept secret for some 10 years. So the statute of limitations may have expired. So it's not being charged as an individual act, but that her showing us that and saying I was escaping a freak off and dragged back in there to continue is kidnapping. And on top of it, it meets the other elements as well. It's a person in a room with a sex prostitute, which she testified to, someone being paid to be there to engage in sex acts. And she's testifying she was there under coercion. That's sex trafficking. And there was testimony that he did this with her across state lines and outside of the country too, like down in Turks and Caicos or one of those tropical islands not owned by the United States. So that is the second count, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion.
Mm-hmm.
Saying that from at least 2009 up until 2018, he, in and affecting interstate and foreign commerce, knowingly recruited, enticed, harbored, transported, provided, obtained, advertised, maintained, patronized, and solicited by any means a person knowing and in reckless disregard of the fact that means of force, threats of force, fraud, and coercion would be used. What they're trying to say to force that person to engage in a commercial sex act. What they're saying is, in interstate commerce, he transported, would be enough, a person through means of force, fraud, or coercion into a commercial sex act. Okay, well, where was the force, fraud, or coercion? The prostitutes are going to testify that they did it willingly. Now, the first guy said I was there willingly, they were paying me, but he also took a picture of my license and seemed to be threatening me that if I spoke or didn't behave as he wanted me to, he was going to, you can hurt me.
Yeah.
There'd be retribution. So that's evidence of some force or coercion. But
Yeah,
it's really
but
coming down
it's
right
very
now to
tricky.
Cassie,
It's very
who
tricky.
is showing us the tape. I tried to escape. He grabbed me by the hair and dragged me down the hallway back into one of the freak-offs. That would be coercion to go back into this room and engage in a commercial sex act. She's not the one getting paid. The lover is. And she testified to that. So you don't, and then.
But there is this is what she's looking at it as on Cassie's side. But guys, she's saying coercion because in pulling her back in there, which is true. This is it is true because he did do that. And that is where it's get very technical with him. That is proof and that is witness. That is an abduction because he did pull her back in there. Right? But the part where the guy is being paid. Yes, the guy is being paid. So that is kind of iffy there. And she did testify. So that is why I'm thinking, okay.
And you also have to prove that Sean knew that the victim was engaging in this act as a result of force, fraud, or coercion. Well, the defense is offering emails of her saying, I want to do the freak-offs. I'm into it.
Right.
Can't wait to freak off. It's all from 2009 so far. 2010, there was some testimony, some email correspondence. They're not sharing all the email language with us. Before that 2016 one that resulted in the beating that we saw in the hallway. But even if they have an email suggesting she wanted to do that one, and she's disputing that, it seems pretty clear on the tape she was done with the freak-off.
She done right.
Seems pretty clear the consent had been withdrawn. And by the way, as a legal matter, a woman can withdraw her consent to a sex act literally in the middle of sex. The first 2 minutes can be consensual, and if she says, I'm done, get off of me, the next minute would be rape if he doesn't listen.
And that's the issue.
The law. So you can certainly participate voluntarily in one of these freak-offs, which she said some of them last 4 days. And maybe on day 1, you're good, but by the time you're on day 4, you're saying, I want to get out of here. Let me go. And if he chases you down the hallway and grabs you and pulls you back into the room where the commercial sex worker is there on the clock for money, you're effed. You're effed. You are going to be charged likely with sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. That's count 2 of this indictment. Now, maybe the jury will be persuaded. Maybe the defense has one of these emails or texts for every single freak-off. She said there were hundreds, so I doubt it. She's doing more of a narrative explanation of what happened, saying in the beginning of our relationship, by the way, there was a 17-year age difference. She was 19 when it started. He threw her 21st birthday party and invited Paris Hilton and Britney Spears. She was an ingenue. She was as green and doe-eyed as they came. And this older, much more successful, more sophisticated bully, criminal, thug took advantage of this young girl, so beautiful, everything in front of her, and lured her into his world through promises of making her in the music industry.
But Megan, you're not saying though, and you have to be fair. What Megan is saying though, she's negating Cassie of nothing. And you can't do that. You have to be on both sides. Yes, he's a thug. Yes, he's a criminal. Yes, he's a monster. Yes, because I said all of that. He is. I see him with all of that. He is. He's a total ass. But why? Why to God hell did you? We are looking at her as an old her. Why? Oh, because she's young? I don't know. I'm sorry. No, you must can define right from wrong. And you're 19, she was 21st birthday. You must can define right from wrong. Must.
Over. Teaching her how to dress and how to be in a way that would be enticing for others. Of course, that would be extremely alluring for any young woman. But there was a price to be paid. And in the beginning, he wooed her. My God, this is a pattern. I mean, you guys have seen it. You've heard it just on this case, this show enough to know. It is a pattern of abusers.
Yeah, he woos
to
her.
love bomb the women at the beginning. If those are the roles, the gender roles, men versus women, it can happen the other way. But it's this kind of abuse, domestic abuse with a love bombing, is generally men on women. And then once he obtains control over her, comes the abuse. It can be verbal, it can be financial,
or physical.
and it can be physical. And she testified that he beat her many times. And the second witness of the case was a sex worker, not the one who was in that room for the 2016 Intercontinental Hotel incident, freak off / beating, but a different one, a different sex worker, the one who said, I had to show my license. And he said he heard Diddy slapping her behind closed doors, that they had an argument. I think that he threw a bottle at her, and then they went behind closed doors, and he heard him slapping her, and he heard her saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And then he expressed his concern directly to her. It sounds like this guy was kind of falling in love with Cassie. And he worried about her. This is the hired sex worker. But he was hired so often, he felt like he was getting to know them, and he would kind of side text from time to time. And he felt that she was in danger in Diddy's world. This is a third party. Again, yes, he was involved. Not like the security
and this
guard.
sex worker, he was
in
there.
Their relationship and their freak
He
offs,
was
but
there.
he's
This guy
setting
was
the
there
stage to the
most of the
prosecution with those
time.
first two
This
witnesses
guy.
setting the stage that this was not a purely voluntary thing, that Cassie did feel coerced and feel like she had no other choice, and understood very well that there would be a high price to pay if she did not do what he wanted. And it really doesn't matter, again, if that coercion began mid freak off, pre freak off, or if in the beginning of their relationship when she was very young, 2008, 7, 9, when they're showing her loving texts toward Diddy, that she was genuinely in love with him and possibly wanted to do these things. She was explaining that she did love him, that she felt there was actual tender love between the two of them, and she felt he loved her too, though he was dating other women, he was hiding her, he wouldn't bring her out in public, she didn't like that. He was spending all the holidays with Kim Porter, the mother of some of his other children. There are many, many baby mamas in his world. And
you are biased too.
He wasn't treating her in any way like an equal or a partner, but this poor lost girl who now had been hooked by this guy had been repeatedly, I mean, it's a form of sexual abuse what he was doing to her, whether she knew it or not. It is not love to take a 17 years younger, 19, 20, 21-year-old girl and have some sex worker come into your private home or hotel room and urinate down her mouth to the point she's gagging. You fucking cretin, Sean Combs. That's what the evidence was. That's one of the many reasons I think he's a disgusting, perverted criminal. It's my opinion. This July, speaking of resets.
Guys, I couldn't have said it any better, to be real honest. He's perverted. Yes, he is an asshole. He's a monster. And I said it this morning. He is a monster. But she is just focusing on Diddy. And the judge won't be focusing on only just Diddy behavior. They're going to be focusing on Cassie behavior too, because she has a role to play. And you're looking on her as well as Diddy. And even we can sit here and we can say this and we can say that. They're going to try to prove that she was not coerced in doing all of that. Right? There were going to be other women. We don't know. We don't know. But it's women like that who make it bad for other women. Because had she not go down that road, Kim Porter too. Because obviously Kim Porter was doing all of that shit too. And I am so unfortunate that we didn't get to hear about her life. What happened to her? We didn't get to hear it. We didn't. I would love to hear it. She knew Diddy had his wife. Or what, I don't even know. Was he married to Kim Porter? She knew Kim Porter exists. And she still, because he was spending most of his time with Kim Porter during the holiday season. And why? She could have walked away too. I don't know. It's horrible. It's a horrible situation. Horrible, horrible, horrible situation. I'm not going to lie to you. It is horrible. Mm-hmm. Yes, he blew up a car. I know that. Everybody know it was online. Yeah. That didn't come out as yet. That is going to be. That is where the violence come in right there. That is criminal activity. You can't blow up people's car because you want to force them into a relationship with you. We knew that. And that is why I'm saying if he's going down, he's fighting for his life. Not only him, he has to, his kids, his whole family. Where they going to get the money from? What is going to happen? He tend to lose everything because they're calling it what? Anywho, we don't see it yet. Oh, yeah. Guys, lunch break. Let us see. What the hell? Let me see something here. It is horrible. Come on. Horrible. I tell you, life is so
harder. I was already hard on myself, but his words made it worse. There was some good, but a lot of negative too, she testified.
Guys, give me a second. I'm gonna go downstairs. I need to eat something. Although I've been eating it.
These updates all in real time. Always great to be with you here, waiting on more key updates. But I just want to rehash the big things that we have already heard today in this Diddy trial that has been all-consuming for so many people that continue want to get these updates in real time here. Early on in today, the defense brought back the 2016 incident that happened on the hotel. The jury saw Ventura's March 10, 2016 text to Combs. When you get effed up the wrong way, you always want to show me power and knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child, read aloud, detailing abuse. The jury also views messages from days after the 2016 intercontinental altercation. Combs expressed a sexual desire for Ventura. Under cross-examination, Ventura says she found it a little strange post-assault. Combs in the text wrote, "I felt that way from Friday. What are you doing?" Ventura replied, "Not a good vibe. We need a different vibe than Friday." Combs said, "F Friday, LOL. I don't want to do that again." They exchanged love yous. Ventura says Diddy often took her phone, passport, and other belongings when angry, usually over men that she had dated or was suspected of talking to or dating. Cassie Ventura testified, "If I was with anyone else, I wouldn't call it cheating. We weren't married." She said, "In a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, it's more of a technicality when you're not officially together." Cassie Ventura testified Combs took her phone back in 2013 over suspicions that she danced with Chris Brown. She said she didn't. In 2016, he took her phone again with learning that she was dating someone else. She said they weren't really together back then. In August of 2016, Cassie Ventura and Combs took her phone after seeing that she was dating someone else. They weren't really together then. While driving to a doctor's appointment, he grabbed her phone and ran off after she unlocked it. Cassie Ventura said to her mom, then called police after she came home without her phone. She got it back later that day. While Combs had it, he used it to call the NFL player she was seeing. That player wasn't mentioned. Cassie also testified that after the Intercontinental incident, Cassie Ventura remembered not a whole lot. She recalled returning to New York for promos for her 2016 film The Perfect Match, but didn't remember much after that. The defense questioned Cassie Ventura about a 2013 birthday party for her brother, where she allegedly got into a physical altercation with a woman and told Sean Combs that she tried to kill the being. During cross-examination, audio was played of Cassie saying, "I will kill you, cut you up, and I'm not playing with you." Diddy is heard replying, "Because I'm not disrespectful, bro." Cassie confirms that it was her voice in the audio. She said Combs had expressed concern about the video being released. She also believed an escort named Jonathan may have recorded a video of their sex session. Sean Combs was upset after sex videos of Cassie Ventura leaked. She testified Mr. Combs would make sure that a video would not get released. Is that right? The defense lawyer asked Cassie, and she agreed on that. Ventura testifies that she and Sean Combs used Cowboys for Angels, an escort service featured on Showtime's Gigolos. Ventura confirmed that she'd been worried escorts that she and Combs used might appear on Gigolos and expose their relationship. Defense attorney also noted that some freak-off escorts were on the show, but Ventura said that she never watched it. Cassie Ventura said that she entered inpatient treatment for mental health episode in early 2023 and began writing her book there. She also confirmed that she's been on medication since 2022 for opioid addiction. The program lasted for 45 days. Cassie Ventura, who is normally unflappable on the stand, but you can hear her voice shrink as the defense asks about her mental health and drug abuse. An attorney asked what medications Ventura was taking, and she talks about those medications, the drugs for opioid treatment. The rehab center Ventura went to has services for sex addiction and sex compulsion, the lawyer noted. It also treats something called love addiction. Were you treated to any of these things? Ventura said that she was not. Prosecutors have objected twice during this sensitive line of questioning. While the judge allowed the defense to carry on, he has now called for a brief sidebar as well.
Okay. Guys, I have to.
And again, folks, we are just waiting for more major updates here on Live Now from Fox. As we continue to get them, we will break it down for you and showcase always the very latest to you on Live Now. All right, folks, continuing on here on Live Now from Fox. So wrapping up its nearly 2-day-long cross-examination of Cassie Ventura, the defense asked about her reaction last year when CNN aired leaked security footage showing Sean Combs beating her in a hotel several years earlier. Sean Combs' attorney asked Ventura about an Instagram post that she made in which she said domestic violence is the issue. Combs' team has tactically acknowledged that he physically abused Ventura, but argued that domestic abuse does not prove the government's sex trafficking and racketeering charges. The defense ended its cross-examination of Cassie Ventura by raising a text exchange from 2012 in which Sean Combs wrote that he wants to freak off one last time that evening. The defense attorney pointed to Ventura.
A lot of people like Kelly
where she wrote that she
Megan Kelly.
last time. She wanted it to be the first time for the rest of our lives. Big, crucial ending there as the defense wrapped up. Now, redirect is happening right now. Prosecution trying to tie up some loose ends with Cassie before they send her home. Again, we'll be waiting for more updates here for you on Live Now from Fox.
It's just pure text messages. So like, I always say if you don't lie with dog, you not catch flea. Look on me. When I first moved into Canada, this is the best example.
And again, everyone, welcome back here worldwide on Live Now from Fox as we continue our coverage, bringing you the very, very latest.
Listen.
Again, I want to reiterate, in an attempt to show jurors that she was a willing participant in Combs' freak-off lifestyle of drug-fueled sex marathons, the defense has her read another exchange. In the exchange in September of 2012, Combs told Cassie he wanted to FO one last time tonight using the initials for freak-off. What? Cassie said, you can't.
Okay. I was primary example. I mean, my situation is not as extreme as this, but to be real honest, abuse is abuse. So let me tell you, I wanted out of Jamaica, and even though at the time I didn't see no abuse, like all the red flag you don't see, but as soon as you come, right, you never really, you want somebody offer you a way out, like, I'm gonna come to Canada and I'm gonna have a better life, and you name it. But hear what? Sometimes that person who you thought you're gonna have a better life with is the monster. It's actually, they don't treat you good, because when there is a power dynamics, right, and the power dynamics doesn't have to do anything with and the power dynamics doesn't have anything to do with supporting. The power dynamics doesn't have to do with money. That's what I'm trying to say here. But sometimes the power dynamic has to do with race. It can have to do with so many things. At the point in time that they have a house, you don't, that they know the area, you're in their territory, you're in their, you're in where they are. So sometimes that is what happens. And at some point, it is wrong. It's not good. It's not like she didn't know it's not right. Right? Because a lot of people want to excuse choices you make as you are Stockholm Syndrome. No, sometimes you know, and you choose not to. And then you just decided, I can't be bothered. Somehow it's too lazy And because we're so lazy, we stay into some abusive relationship because it's too, oh, already doing it, why not? I've already, oh, another day, another day, another day. This is my opinion. Sometimes it's fear, yeah, the fear of the unknown. But most people have fear. Most of us sit in our chair and don't go anywhere and don't do nothing with our life because we are in fear. She is in fear to leave this man because she don't think she can make it outside of him. That is my opinion. Anybody have any other opinion, fine. But that's what I think. Me personally think that. You guys are making it like she was crippled. No. Right, sometimes it's shame. Exactly, sometimes it's shame. But somehow we sit down on a chair and a fear keep us in the position that we are in. Sometimes the money make us stay in the position. Right? So it's a different reason for different people. And that is what I'm saying. Sometimes your bills pay. There is so many reasons keep us in bondage, basically, because she was in bondage. And the fact is that, the fact of the matter is, we can come out here and we can speak everything and talk about how she was a Stockholm syndrome, blah, 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 blah. Somehow we are suffer from the same thing, even though we don't have a man brutalize us. Some of us, we are suffering. We are not making the right choice to move on or to do things for our own life. Because guess what? We are stuck. We are our own. We are the worst person for ourselves. We have fears what keep us in bondage, right? Some of us, we have man, we have woman, right? We know say the relationship is not the best. And we use these reasons to keep us there. There is reason that we use to keep us in bondage. Like for example, some way, oh, nobody's gonna want me. I am too overweight. Somewhere is fear. I have to know, at least me know the whole broom. What there's another thing where them normally say old broom know the corner best. And that keep us down there too. Another thing that keep us there, I'm too, you know what, the grass is not greener. We have so much reasons why we allow things to keep us there. When she was asked, as it come out of it come out of her mouth. What she said keep her there. She said she was in love. Love. And she wanted to please him. She didn't say it was the money. And we assume that that is the money. She said she was in love with him and she wanted to please him. Yeah, that is it. She was in love with him and she wanted to please him. So she do all of those dirty things to please him. That's what she said. I can't answer that question why she said she sue him. She said she sue him because she want him to take her serious. She said she sued him because she sent the book to him and he has no empathy for her. The only thing he has empathy for, people like that sometimes only have empathy for money. Just like a corporation, right? I work with I work with an organization, and I was being terminated from that organization. And before I was terminated, I was trying to tell them how dirty and how horrible them treat people in that organization. How horrible them treat people, and you talk to them and tell them, and them when you're talking to them, it's like you're talking to the board. So I figured Diddy must be the board the woman was talking to. She's talking to the board. Him not listen. So the only way you can get people attention like those is through them pocket, what them love and them desire. Like what them the money is his God. So the only way she decided to sue him is because it's gonna hurt him. $20 million is gonna fucking hurt him. So that is why. And also, just like if you have an organization, you talk to them, all you want at time, you're not thinking about suing any people. You just want fair treatment. Fair treatment, you want somebody acknowledge it. So therefore, when you're not getting the acknowledgement, then you do something other than that. You take it a step further because you can't talk to those motherfuckers. Listen, my son said I'm not eat enough. And I don't think that is true. Anyways, I was warm. I'm cold, so I have to get something warm. She didn't want his money. She wanted him. And he just wanted. That's what she said. You know what? I believe she got in. This is my take. This is my opinion. My truly opinion. I believe that when she started the relationship with a man 17 years older than her, not because she see him and decided that I am in love with this man. I see him as love at first sight. I honestly don't believe that. I've been with older men before. It's never like that for me. That doesn't mean that it's not like that for her. I'm just telling you my opinion. I don't think that she see him and she first see him, she just say, wow, I love that man. I believe she see him and she see an opportunity. And she wanted to be a superstar. That's what I see here. Then, because she know him for a period of time, she fall in love with him. And then I don't believe after the period of time, the money didn't matter to her. Because when you have some money, you have $1 million, that's not your focus at that point in time. After you have the money, it's not your focus after that. When you don't have any money, some of you can't relate. You have to relate like this. When you have money, when you don't have money, your money become your focus. When you have money, that is not your focus anymore. Your focus is happiness. Your focus is want more. Oh, that damn thing. Ugh. Right, guys? For me, because when you have listen, when you have the first $1 million, me can speak of experience. Well, I shouldn't even tell you this, but me feel like me can speak of experience. When you have money and you're not worried about, if you are in a situation you have to worry at first when you started out, you have to worry about where your next meal come from, where you're gonna live, yada yada yada. That is the focus. When you get to a point in life where you're not rich but you're comfortable, that the worry about the money become less and more worry is placed on there's things you want in your life. But I do believe that she started out wanting the money. Oh my God. Did I put it in there like that? Oh God. Right? Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. I know I get up, but I have to eat something, right? This is some oatmeal. Listen. The money becomes less important at that point, and you start to focus more on, because he was the security. When she's with him, she even say she dependent on him for everything. She have yacht, she have this, she have that. Money wasn't the issue anymore. To them, money was infinite. Think about being in a situation like that. Woman,
Up with me again. I want you to love me. I need you to love me, Combs wrote in one message. The couple agreed to see each other and embrace. The defense also asked Cassie Ventura about a weedy series of dates, texts, and meetings with prosecutors that seemed confusing even to her. There have been multiple objections and a sidebar in a little coherent testimony. The defense is currently bouncing between an incident in 2018 where Ventura claimed that Sean Combs raped her in Malibu and her account of that incident to federal prosecutors in 2023 after she filed her sexual assault lawsuit against Combs. The defense also has asked her to recall meetings with prosecutors in 2025. We have also heard from testimony, and in the court, they were picking up with an exchange of text messages between Sean Combs and Cassie Ventura from 2010. Previously on direct, Ventura testified that in the text messages, she wanted to tell Combs that she did not want to participate in freak-offs, but was afraid that he would be upset. The defense is bringing up text messages from around the period when Ventura asked to have a freak-off with a girl. They are also most likely hoping to paint her as complicit in organizing freak-offs and not being forced into doing so, like the prosecution did allege a couple of days ago. Cassie Ventura's voice is markedly lower as the defense asked about her rehab experience, including neurofeedback therapy, a treatment that allows patients to monitor mental activity in real time and regulate brainwave patterns and eye movement, which can help recall prior traumatic memories. This was part of trauma therapy, Ventura says. I don't want to talk too much about it, but if you are beat up and can't walk out of the room, it helps you walk out of the room, she said. Cassie Ventura, who is normally unflappable on the stand, but you can hear her voice shrink as the defense asks about her mental health and drug abuse and also rehab. An attorney asked about what medications Ventura was taking, mentioning some medications for to treat opioid addiction. The rehab center Ventura went to as services for sex addiction and sex compulsion, the lawyer noted. It also treats something called love addiction. Were you treated to any of these things? Ventura said she was not. Prosecutors have objected twice during the sensitive line of questioning while the judge allowed the defense to carry on. He has now called for a brief sidebar as well. All right, folks, so we are awaiting more big testimony. We are live here for you on Live Now from Fox. Thanks again for always being with us, waiting on some more major updates from our court reporters, but just wanted to give you this insight and really the day of things that have been happening on the stand for Cassie in her last day, it looks like, of cross-examination. I say that because after fears that Cassie's testimony could spill over to next week, the defense says that she'll finish questioning Cassie much sooner than expected this afternoon, even before the next break. The defense questioning may have been speeded because Cassie has been a cooperative witness through her 4 days on the witness stand. She hasn't challenged. Combs' lawyer claimed often that she can't remember what happened during a period of her life when she concedes she was addicted to drugs. Much of the key testimony before lunch traced the end of the relationship and the role jealousy played in it. The final straw, as Cassie acknowledged, came in November of 2018 when she learned that Combs considered a woman he had dated for several years during time with Cassie to be his soulmate. I didn't see him again after that, she did testify.
So you see, some jealousy was there. She didn't want, because he said that Kim Porter was her soulmate. That's why she just decided that she not going to see him ever again.
Here for you on Live Now from Fox. We'll continue to wait for them right now.
That's what he tweeted. And that wake her up. That was what wake her up, folks. That tweet.
Let me just go over just some more of the testimony here and also just to update you all on things that we are seeing and hearing from inside the court by our great court reporters here. Earlier today, the defense played audio from 2014 in which Cassie Ventura threatens to kill a man who seems to have a lurid video of her having sex. Ventura first asked politely to see the video before shouting. She says, "It's my effing life and I will kill you. I will kill you. I will cut you up and I will hide you," she is heard saying. "I've never killed anyone in my life, but I will kill you. And it's not going to be my hands. There's not going to be blood on my hands. It's going to be someone else." Sean Combs was upset after sex videos of Cassie Ventura leaked. She testified Mr. Combs would make sure that a video would not get out and released, right? The defense attorney asked, and Ventura seemed to confirm this.
That's why sometimes we must be careful what we say.
Combs as protective of Ventura and of the couple's intimate
You want me to
videos.
tell you now?
In contrast to her previous testimony that Combs used sex videos to blackmail her. Cassie Ventura and Sean Combs were in a relationship for more than a decade, projecting an image of hip-hop royalty as they appeared together on red carpets and lavish getaways. The perception shifted dramatically in 2023 when Ventura filed a 35-page lawsuit accusing Combs of physical and sexual abuse and sex trafficking allegations that recasted their relationship as violent and tumultuous. The lawsuit was settled just 1 day later.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That sounds like she knew exactly what was going on. If she can say that and she makes statement like that, She said it wouldn't be in the hands of me. I wouldn't be in the hands. Some shit like that. Let me see it. Let me see it. Then dangerous.
The lawyer noted it also treats something called love addiction. Were you treated for any of those?
Yeah. Let me go over and over the same thing. Listen, you don't see it. You don't realize it. You don't realize it. That's why I'm saying that we shouldn't even hear talking about them. Cause them not talk about we. To be to be real honest. Guys, tap up the screen, tap up the screen. And if you are not, please to subscribe. Let me see how many subscribers I have now. I'm on a mission too. Let me see here. No, I'm telling you, this is like 8. I'm telling you. Oh. Okay. Anywho, I was in abusive relationship for many years. And it's not like the abuse didn't stop. I just put a stop to. I changes the way how I respond to the abuse. And I start to put my foot down. And I start to claim my own life. And I start to making sure that I spend my own money. And I start to slowly get my own independent. Right? Because I'm telling you, power dynamics is real. Right? Power dynamics is real. And when people think they have power over you, right? And it's not only just money. Some people can have emotional power over you because they are just bully. They are just narcissist. Right? And some of them want to have some influence, and it's based on how they were brought up. And some people have believed that at first it seems crazy. Like, have you ever spoken to some people and see how they speak? Like, you wonder if you and them living in the same world. Like, I mean, when I was growing up, there's certain behavior I wouldn't even think that people would have do. Like, you have now, I noticed, like, my cousin yesterday, she told me that she was at a school, and she said a little girl, she want to be a boy, so she changed her name. And then she said she changed her name professionally or something like that. But it doesn't even matter. I'm just thinking that, are we living in the same world that these people? So then I have to look at the generation who is raising the kids now, because it's not it's the Gen Z and the Gen X, and they're who is raising these kids now, because the 20-year-old, 30-year-old, they're having kids. But these people are messed up, and these people who have kids, they have no boundaries. And they are talking about them. It's just unbelievable what these people think. But you can't blame them, because I don't know, them in a one world by themselves, and when you listen to them, it's just, it blow you away. It doesn't seem like common sense to me. Like, I mean, yes, people have their own fluidity, whatever they want to do, but to actually get somebody in a a 8-year-old, 12-year-old little kid involved in a shit like that. And it's like, who is the leader here? Who are the leaders? It blow my mind. And then these parents is like, oh yeah, they come to school, they are not fostering nothing, they are just letting these children run the roost. And because at my age, I get crossover into the same generation, right? And that is what I find. They want to come tell me how to run my show. And if you don't try to put your foot down, because they get crossed over, it's not like you grow them that way, but they are right on the brink of it. You see, you have to understand. It is like you're at the brink of it. And they get caught up in the new age, and then I'm right where it cut off, where the old age stops, right? And then these people think that they know everything. Anybody 35 and under, or 40 and under, to be real honest, but once them get 40 and under, they think they rule the world. I don't know. It's unbelievable what people think in this world. And I think right there, if she had born in my era, because she's about 38 now, she believe in all this argy shit. It's my generation don't believe in it. Like we secure our body to that, right? But they do. A lot of them, that's what you see, all the folks who come here and talking, we talk too much because these people are not like us, have the same brain like us. So that's why some of them don't want to hear me speak, because they realize, what's this woman, did she even know what's going on out there? They believe in sharing. They believe in everything. They believe they can love anybody they want to love. This minute they love a girl. Next minute them love a boy. They don't have no boundary. And they don't have any. They don't care. It's like normal for them. Oh yeah, that was. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's different. It's a different ball game out there. Totally. So that's why you see, I couldn't even think about, in our days. Yes, we cheat. We cheated. We take people, man, like, take a little boyfriend on the side and so on and so forth. But these days, I know free love was going on from the 60s. I know, but it was not as pronounced as it is now. And we all know that. These were going on from generation, but at least it wasn't talked about. It wasn't like in your face. It wasn't out there. From where I was standing, anyways, I don't know where you live, where you stand, but I must have been protected, right, based on the environment. But I'm sure I could speak for about maybe 90%, 99%, where it was not as prevalent as it is now. And all this woke thing, this shit is not in my face every day, but now it is. And what you do in your bedroom was not of interest. I'm not interested. I mean, yeah, I'm sure people do this all the time, right? Because people are curious. But some people don't think it didn't shock some people, let's put it that way. It wasn't a shocker. You have people who behave in their bedroom like this all the time. I had a friend, and when she told me she used to swing like a normal girl, and she told me she used to swing, I couldn't believe it. She had a married couple that she used to swing with right here in Calgary. And she told me. And then she had a boyfriend now, and she introduced the boyfriend to swinging. And then sometimes they get in fight because the boyfriend probably goes swinging and like that person. But the rule is, when you're swinging, you can't swing without the wife. You have to swing with the wife. And the rule is you can't fall in love, right? But how can you go that close and not fall in love? Suppose I go swinging. This is my fear. I go swinging and the guy have something nicer than I make me feel like me in a heaven. Of course, me go. That's why. That's why these things, you have to be careful. That is why you have rage. Right? And so I'm sure him probably do swinging. And that is why you hear the one of the escort care about her, because he was one of the popular escort. Like he came back all the time. He was always part of the 5. That one guy are part of the 4. He's that good that them keep him employed. And so if you see it, he said he was scared for her. And he was concerned. And he heard what happened in the room. Right? So that's why I'm telling you. And see, you see it? She probably did love. She did probably must. Because if the same guy, you must get used to him. And you just love it. I think that's what it was. You get used to it and you just love it up. Oh my God. They call him Sweet Tip. I don't know. I am too jealous to ever. Exactly. Because I'm thinking, what if I says, okay, we're going to do this. I couldn't. Okay, story time. I remember I was in Hong Kong. And I was there. And the guy that I was with, he was working all the time. So I didn't know anybody. So when I went there, I'm not going to just sit in the house. This was a house because they live way in Yung Long. Now, in Hong Kong, they have a lot of apartment building. And I'm from Jamaica. I'm not used to a lot of these. I've never seen apartment building that big in my entire, like tall in my entire life. Because we didn't have apartment building like that. We usually have like two-story apartments. That's it, 2 and 3. And then further, when them start making it up a manor part, they start to make higher. But when I was growing up, they never had like 6th floor and 10th floor and 32. No, we didn't have that. Right? They would have like a 2-story or a 3-story. That's all. That's what I know of. So then, when I went to Hong Kong, I told the guy I just can't live like that, because I always went, the higher I go up, if I look down, I just have a fear. I don't know where that fear, I'll tell you, I know where the fear came from. So anywho, so I went there, and so he had a house in Yung Long, because he was in the city, but he had a house there. He didn't have anybody who lived there. So when I came to Hong Kong, I was living there. Okay? So then I would come into the city every day on the train. So it take me a far way to come to the city. And so I would come to the city and I met this guy. The guy was the ambassador I think I went to Shimshai show. I even still remember it. I don't know why. So I used to go to Shimshai show. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but I used to go there every day. Like I'll take a cab to the train, then I go to Shimshai show, and then I would take the boat over, and they have beautiful hotels because that's the lifestyle I used to live, right? And I like to be in the area where people are. So I met this guy, which he at the time he told me it was a black guy. He was the ambassador for Mali, and Hong Kong, and he was there on a business trip to speak. And so he was staying in one of the nicest hotel, and I walked and I saw the hotel. The hotel looked gorgeous, and I wanted to just go in there. So I met him. And they would start to talk, and he asked me where I'm from. And I told him. And we talk every day. Like after that now, I will meet him. I'll go home, meet him, and then come back to Shimshai show every day, and we'll meet and have coffee or have lunch in the daytime. So I had my boyfriend, but he gone to work every day, so I was left alone, right? I didn't speak Chinese. I didn't speak Cantonese. I think in Hong Kong they speak Cantonese, not Mandarin. So I didn't know the language, and it was hard for me to communicate. So I always have my address in my, I had it written in Chinese, in whatever. And so I'm there every day because I was there for a good 6 months, 7 months. So I was there every day. So I met this guy, and the guy was there for about 2-3 weeks, somewhere like that. And I get to know the guy, and him speak English, I speak English. So we would speak, and we'll go, and he took me out and showed me all the city of Hong Kong and whatever, right? And while I was there, he said he likes me. And I'm like, I'm with somebody, because I told him, and he told me he's married. He has one wife. So then he started to tell me that he would like me to be his second wife. So I'm like, second wife? What does that even mean? Because me come from the Western, from Jamaica. We here in America, I don't understand nothing about second wife and third wife and that shit, because that don't fly with me. So now I try to understand, what does it mean by saying I would be the second wife? So he said to me, each wife, he said he only have one wife at the moment, and he chose to, but he can afford to get as much as he could afford, he can afford to make as he could have other wife. So then he started to show me and tell me that he can afford to have another wife. Okay? And I said, oh, so? He said that, but I would have to respect his first wife, because she would be the one. The first wife is always the one that you respect. Like, I don't know, it's tradition or whatever, what shit he was telling me. Somebody correct me if I'm right. So I was curious to know what the heck is this? How does it work? What? So the guy told me I would be second wife. I would have to listen to his first wife. So then I start to ask him, how does the sleeping arrangement go? He told me we wouldn't be living in the same home. He said he have a village, like, I don't know if it's a village or a compound, must be. And I would have my own home, and she would have her own home. But she belonged to him, me belonged to him. I would be together, and we would work together, she said. Whatever the first wife said, this is what you have to do. And if him get a third wife, she would have to have the more wife he has to have more respect for the one before her. Right? Some shit like that. So now me would be, so if him have 10 wives, me would be the second in command. So then I ask him, and he's Muslim too, right? So then I ask him if he understand where I'm from. He said, no, not really. So I said, well, I'm from Jamaica. Go look it up. I said, I am sorry, but I couldn't put myself in that situation because I am jealous as fuck. And that couldn't fly with me. Hell no way, Jose. Then, knowing me, how me like travel and do all kind of things, at the time, computer wasn't as, I mean, people have computer and I had computer. So computer wasn't as prevalent as that. So I called up a friend because I never know nothing about Mali. And I didn't even know that they were Muslim or nothing. And so I called up my friend and I said to her, so I want to go to Hong Kong. I'm tired of, I said, you know what? I'm tired of Hong Kong. I wouldn't mind going to a different country just to know the country and tell the Chinese guy that I'm there with, because I'm young, right? I was young. This is in 1999. So then I'm thinking, okay, I'm young, I'm bored. This is not it for me. I'm bored. I want to go to Mali to see a different lifestyle because the guy obviously had money, because at the time he bought me a shoes for $400 US. So obviously he must have had some money coming in, because I had that leather, how do you call that now? Alligator skin shoes till me ending up throw it out. Because we don't wear that kind of shoes in Jamaica or anything like that. So I had that alligator shoes carrying around. Real alligator texture, everything. It was like $400 US. And so I was there when he bought it. So then I'm thinking, okay, the shoes cost so much money. I held on to it. Never really wear it that much. I don't even know what happened to it. So I knew he had some money, right? He must have some money to buy me shoes in 1999, $400 US. So then, and then now I said to him, can I see your wife? Like I asked him, I want to see his wife. And so he showed me, he had his wife picture in his wallet, and he showed it to me. When he showed me the picture of the woman, she was one fucking gorgeous, entire gorgeous. At first I thought, oh my God. No, you fucking think that guys, I don't want to cuss. You think that I am going to marry the motherfucker will look better at the time I think she look better than me. You think me I go fucking marry the motherfucker when me consider look better than me? The lady here, he said he doesn't show anybody her picture or anything like that because she always have on scarf and so, but he had a picture of her without, because it's his wife, so I'm allowed to have her picture like that. Well, you think, and the girl looks pot less. So I said to him, no way, Jose. Me not gonna be no second. I should be first. Me said no. Me said you'd have to go divorce her, and then he said it doesn't work like that in his country. So then I told you I call my girlfriend and ask her, tell me about Mali. She said, don't go nowhere. They're going to take away your passport and you will never see Jamaica ever again. Whether it was true or not true. I just kept my shit. I just kept myself. So then, hear what the guy do now. Hear what the guy do. Which was very tempting. He did buy the ticket. At the time, he bought the ticket. And I gave him a name and everything, and he bought the ticket, and he says, well, I have to go back home and I'm going to buy the ticket. Whether you come or you don't come, he's going to buy the ticket. He said one of his driver is going to be, when we get to Mali, one of these driver is going to be looking out for me anyways, and I will see my name. They will have a sign with my name. So he said I must think about it. Right? So I call the airline and everything and check to see if I threw my name, him have my ticket, my everything. Guys, I didn't fucking go nowhere because me, me decide say no way, Jose. Me never trust it. Me never trust it. If I never called my friend and she tell me say them a Muslim. If he wasn't if he was normal and not Muslim, would have go. I think if it wasn't the religion, I would have gone. But because of the religion, me ending up do not go anywhere. No, hold on, guys. I never hear from that guy again. The ticket, I guess, I don't know if I'm getting money back or what, but I take my chances. I say, no, I'm not going nowhere. Because my friend say, listen, those Muslim people, you don't know, you don't born in a Muslim, you don't know. Those men are power. And you don't have no power. So when you go there, you have to go put something on your head. And nobody ever see you ever again. So me say it can't be that hard. It can't be that. Because he tell me. And I never did go. So I don't have the experience. So that to say. Make me forgot the reason why I did I tell you the story. Anywho. So I ended up do not go anywhere. Folks. Me not go. Me not going. So that, oh yes, the reason why I was telling you the story is I cannot understand how that woman go make me can't. Me too jealous. Me too jealous because you're good. Oh, me too jealous because once we see I look on her a certain, okay, so we are swinging. I me see you are look on her a certain way, you enjoy it more than how you enjoy it with me. Listen, I lose it there, so. That not gonna happen. That not going to happen. You can't get me in a situation like that. And then, okay, women younger, okay, you got even say, oh, yeah, because some men touch some dirty things when they might get it. You got say she tight. No, I just say it done. Everything. I done there, so. So you gonna tell me, say, you're gonna make a mistake, go say the wrong thing. And it pisses me off. Like if you do it with her. So me sit down and watch it now. And you do it with her. And you're going to say, boy, this tight or some shit. And you lick it for... Me can't handle it. No. Me cannot do it. Never. Do it behind my back. Me no want no. No. Me no come from that era there. So I don't understand how these young people have this fluidity and have this, oh, we're gonna just do whatever. We're gonna just free. Me never born like that, girl. Guys, I am happy for you guys if you like all of that shit. But that can't happen to me. Me sorry. If that's what you think, and if me I go date a man, and the man I go say to me, say, we can't have some treat. No, but don't even bother. Don't even come beside me. Because you can, as a matter of fact, you cannot even present shit like that to me. Because right there and then, I think there's something wrong with you. I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. That's what I think. That is just me. And I'm not saying you can't go do anything you want to do. But once me and you together and then you go tell me shit like that, I go figure say, I'm not enough. Why am I not enough? Why am I not enough? Me not good enough? What wrong? Me not satisfy you? Those are the things that is going to come in my head. So therefore, that is why me cannot, at this point in time, I cannot even think about how Cassie must be feeling. She must have a strong stomach to do those things. And she have, I don't know. I can't even phantom. I can't even think about it. Honestly, I can't. It not cross my mind. So that is the one thing I cannot get. I cannot understand. Guys, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Please tap up the screen here. Right? Okay, you have to support me. If you can't support me by tapping me up or whatever, support me by following me. Right? No! Thank you for that. Now, honestly, I need to put on my glasses because sometimes I can't. Right? Look, I cannot do it. I honestly cannot do shit like that. So that is why I'm saying I can't relate to it. I can't. I cannot. People try to tell me to do that shit already, and me I look for them if them know who them I deal with. Because the way listen, maybe I have some violent streak where I don't know. That not go work. It not gonna fly with me. It's not going to fly with me. Because if you ask my husband, when I found out about him having an affair and then I find out, I'm telling you, it wasn't nice. And I had to put him out of my house because I know I'm going to get myself in a trouble. And for a peaceful life, and to keep me out of trouble, I realized because I was behaving erratic and I was getting out of control, and I realized it, said it is best in the interest of me to remove myself from the situation. Because the time before I put him out of the house, this is story time for you. The time before I put him out of the house, I went down to the leisure center and I saw him sitting in his car. I was at home stewing, I mean stewing, because he didn't work and he went to the gym. And my daddy, and every time I look on the clock, him say I'm gone at the gym at 5 hours. How the fuck you do a gym 5 hours? And my day I was at home uneasy the whole time. 5 hours I was uneasy. And I was stewing and I was stewing and I was getting angry as the clock tick, tick, me I get angrier and angry. And when I realize, say, me I get angry, me go in my car and me drive off and go look for him. When me look for him, me see him in the car, and when me park right behind him, and when me go up to the window and me look in and hear him speak to the woman. And me go back in my car and ram my car in his car, which I shouldn't. So then me realize, say, you know what I did after that? I come home, look at my behavior, I say, you know what? Me not go to jail for you. Me not do it. And put him ass out and lock my door, change my lock them, change every fucking thing, because guess what? Me not go down for you. Me not going down for you. The next thing me see, a police. Him carry police to let me in, say, let me in. I said, no. The police said to me, say, Mom, this is Canada. Cause apparently, him tell the police, say, me Jamaican, me don't have no rules and no law. Because you know how they behave. He's white and black. So then I said, no, he has to go down to the courthouse because now come back in this. Me say, unless you want to see me on the news. Right? That's what me say. Then, police say, Mom, no, this is not how it go. You guys have to deal with it. You can't just put somebody out like that. I said, well, I just did it. And them out there for hours I talk to me through my door. Now open my door, because me know it going to get ugly. It going to get ugly. So you know what I did? Yes. And me don't want no trouble, because me now go sit down in a bar like Diddy in a chain, leave my 2,000 square feet home, go in a 5x5 room and sit down and wonder, what have I have done? No way, Jose. Me have to make a choice there and then. Right? And what I did was choose me at that moment. Okay. Ain't gonna happen. And I saw me choose me. And that was that. All right. So here what? I can't relate to having 5 people in a my thing. I can't. But here we get dicey than that the story not end. Anyways, next time. Right? Because at some point in time you see danger, you have to take yourself out of danger. You have to can recognize trouble is trouble. You have to. You have to have a limit. You have to tell yourself what is good and what is bad at some point in time, because me no child. I was way in my 40s at the time. You have to. So for her not to recognize that, listen, this is not, I don't. At some point in time, you have to snip it. Let me hear what that guy has to say.
Combs told Cassie he wanted to FO one last time using initials for freak-offs. What? Cassie said. You can't read? Combs replied. I don't want to freak off for the last time. I want it to be for the first time for the rest of our lives, Cassie told him. The defense ended her questioning there, but prosecutor Emily Johnson, questioning Cassie in a phase of testimony known as redirect, had Cassie read more of the messages to provide additional context. I want to see you, but I'm emotional right now, Cassie told Combs. I don't want to do one last time. I'd rather not do it.
I hope that my testimony has given strength and a voice to other survivors and can help others who have suffered to speak up.
Our lawyers
heal
speak.
from abuse and fear. For me, the more I heal, the more I can remember. And the more I can remember, the more I will never forget. I want to thank my family and my advocates for their unwavering support, and I'm grateful for all the kindness and encouragement that I have received. I'm glad to put this chapter of my life to rest. As I turn to focus on the conclusion of my pregnancy, I ask for privacy for me, for my growing family. Then I have a statement from Alex Fine. Over the past 5 days, the world
Our
has gotten
husband
to
is a
witness
speak.
the strength and bravery of my wife, freeing herself of her past. There has been speculation online surrounding how it must feel for me to sit there and listen to my wife's testimony. I have felt so many things sitting there. I have felt tremendous pride and overwhelming love for Cass. I have felt profound anger that she has been subjected to sitting in front of a person who tried to break her. So, to him and all of those who helped him along the way, please know this: you did not. You did not break her spirit nor her smile that lights up every room. You did not break the souls of a mother who gives the best hugs and plays the silliest games with our little girls. You did not break the woman who has made me a better man. I did not save Cassie, as some have said. To say that is an insult to the years of painful work my wife has done to save herself. Cassie saved Cassie. She alone broke free from abuse, coercion, violence, and threats. She did the work of fighting the demons that only a demon himself could have done to her. All I have done is love her as she has loved me. Her life is now surrounded by love, laughter, and our family. This horrific chapter is forever put behind us, and we will not be making additional statements. We appreciate all of the love and support we have received, and we ask that you respect our privacy as we welcome our son into a world that is now safer because of his mom. Thank you, everybody. We really appreciate the media's attention to this case as well. Thank you. I'll answer a few questions if I can. There's probably a lot of questions that I won't be able to answer, so I apologize. Can you tell us about the intercontinental assessment, please?
What did you make of the defense questioning Cassie's credibility throughout this?
You know, I don't want to get into the province of what the jury is going to be deliberating on in this case, and all I would say and repeat is that my view as her lawyer, a witness to this case and not a party, is that she was brutally honest. She was candid, and she told them how it was.
True, she was honest. I didn't feel.
That was just revealed in court. I can't speak about that. The record is the record in the court, and I can't speak. Was it
With the CBC, I mean, you obviously saw her as she came off of the stand each day. Diddy was there in court. I mean, can you just give us a sense of what she was like coming off the stand?
Resilient is the word that comes to mind. She is a remarkable person. I mean, I've been representing victims, and I don't like to rank clients because they're all amazing people in their own right. But I have to say, in the last year and a half that I've known Cassie, I can't think of another person I've met like her. In her, not only her truth, but in having everything that she's gone through in the 10 years or so with Sean Combs, her drug addiction, her recovery, to be able to come into this courtroom and testify for the last week on these very graphic subjects is a true testament to her character.
How anxious is she for the outcome?
How much money is she made off of this?
She said on cross-examination that she does not need this for Congress, and that she's back with her relationship. She still has some love for what they share. Explain that dynamic.
It's a dynamic, I think, that'll be explained further in this case, perhaps through the expert witness, but it's a complex situation, obviously. I think we all know and can appreciate that there are many women, as I'm speaking here today, who are used by people who they love. They had a 10-year relationship. I think she readily admitted that there were some good times in that relationship, but that doesn't that does not obviously permit someone to do the things that she testified to her, and to control her, and to subject her to physical and mental abuse that she suffered.
Was there any outcome to this?
Hello, Mr. Weaver, thank you. I think when she ended her redirect this afternoon, she said she would give the $20 million back if she never had to do a freak off again. Speak to that, because I believe that was a very powerful moment in her testimony today.
It certainly was, and I believe it to be true. Cassie wanted to file that lawsuit because she wanted people who suffer in silence to be able to come forward and to give people confidence that they could do that. And I have no doubt in my mind that if she could change her life, and it never would have happened.
So she would give that $20 million back again if she have to never do a freak off in her entire
all of
life.
this, after she's given birth, that she wants to go back into the entertainment business, or would she rather just put this whole chapter behind her? What's in store for her future?
I think it's too early to tell. She's obviously a great person, talented person.
What's in store?
And so I think right now she's focused on her family, putting this behind her, giving birth to a healthy child, and then seeing what the next chapter of her life is going to be.
Is there any
I have to go, so thank you very much. Thank you.
But is she giving birth?
A boy sugar.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
For any outcome in this trial?
Oh my God, I can't take the noise. It's New York on the street. That's how New York sound on the street. Anyways, her husband gave a testimony, a letter for the lawyer to read. And Cassie last statement, she said she will not be talking about this ever again. Guys, she said that she would give the $20 million back if she have to do another freak session ever again in her entire life. It is so powerful. I feel it for her. I honestly do feel it for her. I almost have tears for her, honestly. And you know what the thing is? I think she told the truth. Everything I believe her. I believe her. Right? But nevertheless, though, Diddy is going to poke hole in what she said because he has to save himself. He has a lot to lose. He has a lot to lose. He's going to have to prove it. Remember, he has his daughters. He has everybody. I'm going to see what happening at the court there, so. Nothing. When people come out, when people come out with the news later on, that's how we're going to get everything. Because people in there sit down with all of the thing. I think he has already lost. Boy, I don't know. Yeah, he's going to lose. Let me tell you, a lot of people want to see him go down. I do believe that he should get some time for his behavior and his conduct. And particularly, I do believe that he is a freak and he should be, I don't know, his behavior is questionable. Like, that is not something normal where you do in your bedroom, plus where you somebody who you love, you let happen to that person. But I don't know, she's broken too. She need a lot of therapy. Anyway, she get a lot of therapy. Cause me can't, and I know I can't. I'm still at a loss. You ever know, say some things happen to some people, and you try to get into it and understand. Okay, this is what a man cheated on you, and you try to understand why I'm cheating on you after you give him everything, and you do everything for him. You know why? Him himself sometimes can't answer. And then we as women, you want to know every detail, everything about it. And they're not, sometimes they're not even capable of telling you why. Them say because. Because why? Tell me, am I not enough? And there's some, maybe them lying. And then you say to them, yes, I'm enough. You're enough. I love you, baby, or whatever. But them just can't give an answer to satisfy you. The answer is never good enough to satisfy you, the person, the victim. So that is why I'm saying at this point in time, we would like to know, because I can't understand why she would allow something like that, but I'm gonna let it go because you're just not going to know. You're not you wonder. You can't know. It's not something that she can actually explain. You can't, yeah. I don't know what is gonna happen, guys. He did blow up somebody's car. That is illegal. That mean that is not, that is a criminal activity. He did force her. He did force her and grab her to go back into the freak off. That shows that it was against her will, even though they tried to prove otherwise. I mean, she did set up some of it. I don't know if the the juror is going to take that into consideration, right? So I don't know. So let us see. So it's gonna be 8 weeks of this. I don't think. Okay, tomorrow. Well, tomorrow Monday it come back, right? Monday is a new day. So we're gonna see what is gonna happen on Monday. Now I don't know. Do you hear who is going to be
engage in some of this sexual activity, and they started the day, Andy, by going through some text messages that are obviously many years old now, but that showed or seemed to show a really loving relationship between Cassie and between Diddy, and it really painted a picture of two people who were in love. And I think obviously that was something that they were trying to show. Look, this is not a horrible abusive relationship. This was a loving relationship, and again, perhaps they in the bedroom did things that other people might not, necessarily get down in their own lives, but that this was what they like to do. A little bit later, I think you really started to see themes of betrayal and of distrust in the relationship, and that Diddy admittedly was jealous over what Cassie might have been doing. Other celebrity, I know we had just in fact talked, I think, yesterday, Andy, about other celebrities, and if other names were going to be brought into this. Well, yeah, we heard today about Kid Cudi and jealousy issues with Kid Cudi and Cassie being together and hooking up. We heard about Michael B. Jordan and Cassie possibly having a relationship that angered Diddy. So again, there was these themes of distrust and of cheating in the relationship that seemed to go both ways. And you know, again, this is probably not the end of it. She is going to be back tomorrow, and hopefully that's it
No,
for Cassidy.
she's
She does
not.
not want to have
This
to
is
come
it.
back next week and
That is
and
it.
carry her testimony into a second week. But it's
So why are
it's
they
only
carrying
day
this
4,
shit all
and
the time? It's done.
It's explosive. It really is.
Yeah, it really is. And the lawyer for Cassie is saying hopefully wraps up.
We are continuing to give you these updates as fast as we get them. We want to bring them out to you. But right now,
You're the
we are
guy.
seeing the cross-examination really start today, talking about the drug use and alcohol use of Diddy. And the defense wants to frame this as, look,
Okay, let us
to the
stop
jurors,
that
they want
because
to say,
obviously
look,
this thing here.
we know our client is not the best guy. We know that he has several issues.
Yeah, that's not the new. Let me see what come out. Because right now it is over. Let me see who else is carrying it. Diddy Trial. Have somebody call me. People always call me. Turn off. Law and crime.
Of Sean Combs.
It says live now. Jury enter. Madison, good afternoon. Where do you work? Human trafficking group. I am in the what? Agent. Oh, the guy is texting everything. I should be looking at this one. Good afternoon. Where do you work? Do you serve? Yes. When Sean Combe arrested, where did you go, Agent 221? Where was he staying? I am in the crisis negotiation group too. Did you serve? Yeah, so them a question somebody and them the guy texting, hey, this guy can't text fast enough. The guy Law and Crime, you should go look at it. He has it right there. My text out everything. On X. You want to go on X, you'll see it. Yeah, this guy, Inner City Press. That guy is a good guy. I know of him. I used to follow him long time ago when I was on X. I forgot about him. Yeah, that guy is a good guy. That guy know what he's doing. The agent, we assign a letter to each group. So the agent is there now testifying. I am in the crisis negotiation, group 2. Did you serve? Wow. I should be watching it from here. So they're just talking about when time them go in and raid Diddy house, I think. They're talking about the court is gonna be heating up. Me see what people are say. Because this is not no normal thing. It gonna get I think it's this it gonna get excited now. Let us see here. Somebody say, look how people rude. Cassie let her bedroom herself become a victim 10 years of baby oil and urine. Okay. That is why she's on the stand acting funny. She don't want to get Amber Heard. So people steer. Cassie wasn't a victim. She was an ex and didn't make it to wife status and enjoyed doing weird kinky stuff with her boyfriend at the time. After they broke up, she wanted money. So you see, guys, people have all different kind of shit to talk about. He would counter sue, and we know he's getting charged with over excessive baby oil. And somebody have an emoji with somebody laughing. So they're gonna charge him for having excessive baby oil. You saw people rude and nasty. That's how people steer. And then people says what? Okay. Racketeering is a broad term, a variety of illegal activity used to generate profit, particularly those involve a structured ongoing pattern of criminal behavior. So people put it there. Some people can't talk. Okay, let us
The
hear.
family also needs to be careful how they react. So
Let me hear what people are saying.
Were debunked by not only NBC News, but also Jay-Z's attorneys, or seemingly debunked, I should say. Now, Ben, I'll throw it to you. Jay-Z, we're going to see him at this trial?
no, and I agree with Mina. If I could for a second, I wanted to go back to her point about fishing. Fishing is not something, as you know, Jesse, you want to do on cross-examination. It goes back to the old adage, never ask a question to which you don't know the answer, because you can get many bad surprises on cross. What they should be doing on cross is to be extremely organized, make their points succinctly, and stop.
Yeah, and I wonder if that might be affecting things. Ben, I'll just stick with you.
The law, exactly. Me never figure said it.
If Cassie's testimonial is only classified as domestic violence, who can bring and help prove the racketeering? So if I could just tweak that question a bit, do you think that her testimony so far has helped with the overall racketeering conspiracy charge, Ben? And if not, who does the prosecution need to bring to prove it?
I don't think that they've established any of the technical aspects at all yet. I think this is all about poisoning the
Johnson and Johnson,
Diddy, which probably was done by the video. I'm not sure who the government has, but as Mina said, the government is going to have its ducks in a row, and they're going to have witnesses who can, at least on their face, satisfy the elements.
I'll just push back and say, I think that there is a little bit that they're making. So when she testified about, he has these security guards, he has these assistants who are constantly checking up on her, who are cleaning up after the freak off. So if you're talking about a criminal enterprise and him having a team of people and a conspiracy, multiple people working together, I can kind of see how that testimony helps. If she's talking about underlying predicate crimes to prove racketeering, allegedly blowing up Kid Cudi's car, arson, right? You're talking about her doing drugs, drug trafficking. She's talking about being sexually abused, sex trafficking. So I think that there are elements that are, I don't think it's crystallized. I think I'm doing mental gymnastics here myself to try to make sense of it. It'll be up to the prosecution too. Okay, here we got a great question. Okay, this is for you, Mina. This is an interesting one. Bobby Heath. Jesse is the very best at doing sidebar. First of all, thank you. I'm not making this up, by the way. These are the actual compliments that are on here, so I appreciate it. A
Whatever.
question. A question I have. If this is the question, a question I have is if Cassie wasn't 9 months pregnant, would they put her on the stand last to finish strong? What do you think, Mina?
I don't think so. I think that video is so powerful. They have to establish the violence that Diddy is capable of, and then the supporting witnesses will fill in the blanks, right? Also, you have to establish the racketeering part of it and the organized crime part of it. And I think it was really strategic how they started with the bodyguard, the intercontinental bodyguard, in where the bodyguard said, I went there and he threw money at me, and he bought the tape for $50,000 or something like that. And you have to really establish that there's a cover up, right? A cover up that's trying that they're trying to really hide what they're doing. And I think you needed to see it so they can fill in the blanks after that.
Question for you, Ben, from Daniela3984. Please keep them coming in. We got a lot of questions coming in right now. But can new witnesses, Ben, added by the state attorney, prosecutor, or would it be possible for the judge not to allow new witnesses? That's a good question, a trial question about how much you can add new witnesses.
I wasn't lazy. I was overwhelmed, and AI finally helped me get out of it. I just spent half my day just deciding on what to do, scrolling through Slack.
It's a great question, and usually there are deadlines for that, but both sides can also bring in rebuttal witnesses who have not been identified by either side.
Of course,
so there usually are some new witnesses at trial.
We have, excuse me, joking here. Got a question from Lisa Morales. Are we going to see Justin Bieber on the stand? Very funny you should say that, Lisa. No, I don't think we're going to see Justin Bieber on the stand. Particularly, he came out today, right, and said that he is not a victim of Sean Combs. And by the way, we are going to do a sidebar on that. It's going to come out tonight. So I'm actually going to record it right after this.
Justin Bieber is not a victim.
He's already put that to rest. That rumor has been running around on social media as well. In fact, social media started pulling up everyone who Diddy has been associated with. Since they were young, Justin Bieber, Usher. I think his attorney made a good point saying, mentioning Justin really takes away from some of the actual victims here, and that we need to focus on those victims. So no, I don't think Justin Bieber is going to be showing up here.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think this is a misnomer and maybe a disappointment for people who thought this was going to be a celebrity-filled trial. Big names are going to be accused. That's not what this is. This is a very particular case with very particular witnesses. Having said that, there is reports that Dawn Richard is going to take the stand after Cassandra Ventura. By the way, you mentioned one of our viewers kindly mentioned sidebar. I want to just say something real quick. So,
Jesse.
I have to say it. I got to say it. Listen, we're constantly covering this case. We're constantly covering true crime news, and we make this content specifically for our YouTube audience. We just got the word that Sidebar was ranked number 32 in the top 100 podcasts on YouTube, and that is all thanks to you and your support and your viewership. Really, really thank you so much. Listen, not self-promoting, but I'm letting everybody know this is, that we're making this for you guys, and we really, really appreciate everybody coming to us. Okay, here's a question from for you, Ben, from NLin93. How is redirect going to be after this cross? What's the best plan? That is a great question.
Yeah, I didn't think they did a good job in
redirect is different from cross, obviously, but it also should be short. I think what you do is just take the 3 or 4 things that you want Cassie Ventura to clean up and do it. I wouldn't spend much time. Her direct testimony was effective. The cross was, so. I would just pick 3 or 4 and then sit down and get to your next witness.
Yeah, Mina, because this is the thing, right? This is the thing what I think they have to emphasize. You might have agreed to freak offs at the beginning. You might have agreed to freak offs one at a time. It's like 99% of the time you could say yes, but the 1% you say no, that's all that matters, right, Mina?
Right, and that's exactly what I was going to say. They just need to establish the timeline, right?
Yeah.
Both of those things can be true,
both of these sides of this relationship can be true. She could have been in a consenting, open relationship, but she also could have been in an abusive relationship in where sexually things were being done to her that she did not want. They just have to establish when those things happened. This is a 10-year on and off relationship. So much can change. I think it's really important to also point out that she started these alleged freak-offs when she was 22, right? At the end, she's in her 30s. Someone that is 22 can agree to something where a 30-year-old might be like, no, I'm not doing that. So they need to really clearly establish the timeline here, because I believe some of these text messages were from 2009. They're very early in their relationship. It's very easy to disapprove all of that, right? Yeah, they were in a consenting relationship at one point, but then it turned left, and then she found herself in a sexual relationship and where she's having multiple partners that she didn't even know, and she was not consenting to that, and she was being blackmailed with these videos. It's very simple to clean up.
By the way, so the court is back. We are going to provide real-time updates about what is happening. Obviously, no cameras, no recording equipment. So here's what's happening in court. They just got back. The judge said, let's get this done before the jury returns. Combs' attorney, Anna Estevao, says, we still think it's appropriate for this message to come in. Not entirely sure what the message is, but Emily Johnson, who's one of the prosecutors, responds, we still have issues with phrases like, I'd like to reconnect. Johnson asks, what state of mind is this being offered for? The judge responds, there are portions that are properly admissible, so this needs to be redacted if it's going to be admitted into evidence. For example, in the 5th paragraph, I've been getting my life together. No. Combs' attorney, Ms. Estevao, says, we can get that in through other exhibits. The judge says you can redact it right now. Estevao responds, I will do it right now. That's an interesting back and forth there. Obviously, the jury's not present, Ben, about what they can and cannot see about this controversial message or document.
Yeah, this is very typical during civil and criminal trials for the court to make rulings like that as to certain exhibits and what should and should not be redacted.
This guy that is speaking he was the head lawyer in Johnny Depp case.
And look, you got to be careful what you show the jury so it doesn't unfairly prejudice the case. Okay, we got a question from Chris Wono. Jesse, will Jonathan Odie be taking the stand, maybe testifying from jail? Chris, I got to tell you, if you told me at the beginning of the case, I would say no. I don't know.
So why didn't we employ him?
I mean, his name has come up more times than I thought he was going to. Mina, are we gonna? I mean, by the way, his tape from 2018, where he's in the interrogation room and he's like, "I was a sex slave of Sean Combs and Cassie," and I was like, "Oh my gosh." Now it's like, okay, he might have relevant information.
Right, but the thing with him is his credibility, right? He's kind of like a loose cannon a little bit and Jesse, you would know more, but the feel that I get from the videotapes that I've seen, he's kind of like a loose cannon, right?
Guys, so, I'm going to close it down and come back later because I do have things to do today. Okay, peace. Let us reconvene.